Hey guys, what's going on? FY my pawn here, and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Since we last left off, if I do recall correctly, we left off specifically at a forest junction that we are going to explore fully. And prior to that, we basically went to assist... what was her name? God, I forgot the names, but we assisted two of our companions. And we managed to progress forward by pushing forward the encampment in order to get to our next area. For this stream, we are going to be exploring this forest. We're going to be helping Nenio, most likely. And by the time we reach that point, we should be assisting, or we should be able to reach the point where we can get the Lichdom Path, or at least the key prerequisite to unlocking it. But, without further ado, let's begin and see what happens. Now, I should probably clarify, we won't be getting the Lichdom Path itself, but we will be getting the key implement to getting the Lichdom Path. So I should reiterate that that's the specific thing that we're looking for. Otherwise, let's start exploring and see what happens. As it stands, there's a few things here, but... small doll made of grass tied to a tree with a ribbon. There seems to be a lot of those, actually. Oddly enough. Alright, hello. Janag walks thoughtfully around a grove. He pauses in front of a few trees, lingering there for some time. He seems to be examining something carefully. At the sound of your footsteps, he turns around abruptly. But the anxious expression on his face quickly gives way to an amicable smile. Commander, it's so good to see you. It seems you found time to visit our quiet backwater after all. I could be mistaken, but it looks like you were frightened by my arrival. Oh, no, you startled me, that's all. It's my own overactive imagination. I still can't get used to living in such a small village. The town where I grew up was a good deal larger, and it was located near a trade route, so there were always a lot of new faces, and plenty of people bustling around. Here, however, it's different. The moment you step outside the village, you're all alone. You can walk for miles in any direction, but with only the birds and animals for company. This is, of course, the way Erastil teaches us to live, but truth be told, it still makes me feel somewhat uncomfortable. Why were you looking at the trees? See for yourself. He points to one of the branches, and among the leaves you notice a small doll made of grass and seaweed, tied with a blue ribbon. I keep finding them here in the grove. I think it's some kind of local ritual. I've asked the villagers to tell me what it means, but they won't give me an answer. I just don't understand the reason for all this secrecy. How do you like living in the village? I'm getting used to the way of things. I still get the occasional sidelong glance from the locals, but that's not surprising. After all, it's just some stranger who decided to show up without an invitation, and settled down in the village. But the church warned us of this. Such caution is to be expected at first. I just have to do my best to earn their trust. I heal, I purify water, I give blessings. Sooner or later, they will accept me as one of their own. It's so quiet here. War makes you forget what peace is like. I understand. In my time in Canabras gave me a small taste of war. I only had to live through it for a few days, but I know the horrors I witnessed will haunt me, my nightmares for years to come. I cannot imagine how hard it is for those like yourself, soldiers who have given their life for the cause. The priest places a hand on his heart. You have chosen to fight there, in order to protect our peaceful, quiet life here. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. What do the locals think of Erastil? They're indifferent. They're pragmatic people, you know. They don't have time for the theology. If old Deadeye helps them survive, that's good enough for them. You know, some priests get overzealous with sermons. They demand that people pray, observe all the rituals, make sacrifices. And then those priests and all the holy and pious are surprised when locals kick them out of the village, right to the nearest ditch. The priest laughs. I was taught differently. First you must prove your worth. You have to show them that you and your deity are useful. It's only after they've begun to trust you and start asking questions about your faith that you really share your beliefs. Then you can tell them about old Deadeye and his teachings. Well then, will you show me around the village? Of course, let's go. You'll get to meet the locals, see how we live. Maybe you'll even manage to get some peace and quiet. A temporary respite from the hardships of war. Well, before we actually even consider doing that, we're going to start buffing. You may find it confusing why I'm doing this, but there is a very ample reason. Alright, this will get us... Alright. That should work. Okay, so that's the buffs there. I should probably use... Well, obviously we keep that active because that's Water Arcana. We're going to go with Elemental Ray for now.
At first I said,
Evelyn should probably go Elemental Ray Cold as well. We won't be able to get the buffs from her though, so that sucks, but it can't be helped. Okay, that's gonna have to be it. We can't... I guess we can use Protection from Alignment, but that's not gonna help us here. We'll do a save. Oh, I saved in the wrong location, but whatever. I could always just make a new save. Okay. Old faded blue ribbons hang from branches from the tree. Alright, to deal with the elk. That's nice. There we go. And yes, we are slaughtering every animal we get to. Unlike most combats. A piece of gray ribbon hangs from the branch. I see, so there's different types of ribbons coming in. What a beast! We've got you now. Watch out for the huge teeth. Don't let them catch you. Aim for throat and belly. Fewer scales there. Don't be afraid, everyone. We fought one bigger than this. Alright, let's have a bit of a hand helping them out, I suppose. There we go. Done is done. That'll teach you to mess with us. A man with green eyes, the broad shoulders of a swimmer, and the calloused hands of a fisherman shakes his fist at the beast's motionless carcass. Something's got him all worked up. That's the second time they've crawled out of his mouth. So let them come. A woman, her eyes the same shade of green as the fisherman, smiles at you. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last. But what's the matter? They can't hurt us, and we can use their hides to make a lot of waterproof coats and cloaks. Markle, Melissa, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is Skeletor, the commander of the crusade. He's the one I told you about. Ah, a real hero in our little backwater. So nice to see you to Bry. We've never had anyone important come visit. Heroic acts are important, but sometimes it's good to leave the front lines and talk to ordinary people, living ordinary lives. Anyways, welcome to Chili Creek. Hydras are usually far more dangerous. That beast was not at full strength. I can tell you have an eye for such things. Well, of course he does. He's the commander of the crusade. He probably could have told all that with his eyes shut. Melissa smiles at you. It's all thanks to our mother, Icy Rill. She takes care of her children, won't let anyone hurt them. She fills our nets with fish and drives away the monsters. That's right. And if she doesn't drive the beast away, she'll weaken them. so we can kill them and harvest their hides. Icy Rill. Who's that? She's right here. Markle nods towards the river. Did you think that this was the Selen? No, it would take you half a day's rowing before you reach that river. It's big to be sure, and very important. The Selen flows through at least a dozen countries, but where would the Great Selen be if it wasn't fed by thousands of little streams and creeks, such as our dear Icy Rill? The people of Chili Creek hold the river in great reverence. Or rather, the people of Chili Creek hold their river in great reverence. The priest's observations is matter of fact, but you notice his voice sounds a bit strained. How can we not? Our whole lives are built around the river. From the wedding wreath we send down its stream to the funeral boats that float away on the waters when the time comes. Our mother Icy Rill feeds us, gives us water, protects us. With a kind smile, Markle casts a sidelong glance at the frowning priest. The gods are far away, but our Icy Rill is right here, so we treat her with respect. The two of you look very much alike. I assume you're related? Right you are. Markle ruffles Melissa's hair. She laughs and tweaks his nose. She's my little sister. Takes after our granny, may her memory never fade. She was always restless, couldn't sit still, and Melissa was just the same. She's always up to something. And you took after our grandpa. May the river slip be his featherbed. You're brave, you're as brave as he was, and just as stubborn. You two look very confident when you're giving orders to the other villagers during the fight. Are you two in charge here? Well, how should I put this? Our village is too small for anyone to be in charge. We just happen to know a thing or two about using a weapon. So, if some nasty creature comes crawling out of the river, we give the orders. But when it comes to fishing, fixing nets, we'll be the ones following orders. We're not an army, and there's no officers here. We all live together, solve our problems together, and serve the Icy Rill together. Although, truth be told, it's only been in the last few years that people have really started listening to us. Before that, villagers kept to themselves and no one wanted to go poking their nose into anyone else's business. When we first came up with the idea to start trading on the river, the other villagers stubbornly dug their heels. But after money and goods began to flow into the village, they changed their minds. Yes, the village has been growing. We're getting to see all sorts of things we'd only ever heard about before. The year before the last, we had a fair, and the people came all the way from Knobber's to attend. Then a priest came, and we'd never seen one of those before in these parts, and now... who'd have thought? The commander of the Crusaders decided to pay us a visit. What are those grass dolls hanging around the trees in the grove? A shadow passes over Markle's face, and he looks away. There's nothing much to tell, really. An old local custom. It's just a ritual, Melissa adds in a low voice. No one seems willing to share any further details with you. Alright, how's life in the village now that you've got a priest? Not much has changed. Markle shrugs and smiles amicably. He's a good lad, he does some healing, never bothers us with sermons. Why, he's even learning to fish in his spare time. He also knows a lot of songs, and when he sings, it makes you want to sit and listen. Melissa smiles archly at the priest, and he blushes. The world wound is not far away. Have you ever been attacked by demons? No, we've never seen any. Our mother Icy Rill keeps us safe. She would never let such abominations get near us. Alright, I have to go. Back to the front. Melissa shakes her head sadly. I can't even imagine the nightmarish creature you have to fight there. Have a safe journey and a swift victory. As you can probably guess, the village is very picky with our presence, so only stay as long as you're, welcome, basically. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter what you do, as long as you're just being mindful. It appears there's something here, so we'll grab this. Alright. Before we move on, let's see. Oppressor's gloves. +2 to persuasion, made to intimidate. In addition, whenever the wearer of these gloves confirms a critical hit, the enemy suffers a -2 penalty on saving throws against mind-affecting conditions for 2 rounds. Interesting. If I'm not mistaken, Beastman currently has the ability to intimidate. No, it's not Beastman, it's Trapjaw, I believe. Improved Vital Strike, Kurungun Smash, yeah. Okay, so yeah, no, we're going to give these gloves to Trapjaw because he's going to be intimidating. And we want him to just intimidate the foe and make them easier to attack, so all the better to give those gloves to him, I suspect. As you can probably guess, the fishers are not, or the fisherman is not going to be worthwhile to talk with, I guess. So let's see what's around here. Oh, there's a book here. We'll grab the loot here first. We're going to read this here. Grab that. Okay, no info. That's going to help us. Bunch of villagers here. We'll pick the locks of anything we come across, I suppose. Yink. We'll grab this. There we go. They see demons in the wound are starting to move again. Okay. So it seems that the demons are doing something and trying to do whatever there is that they're trying to do, I guess. Okay, we'll loot here, I suppose. Grab that. Okay, there's nothing here, but we can grab the loot here, I suppose. Yep, there we go. Got some more here. There we go. Alright, let's talk to Jernog. Why are you examining those trees back in the grove? There's little dolls made of grass and seaweed tied to those branches. They're everywhere. Dozens of them. I've asked the villagers what they are, but they mutter darkly and walk away. I simply don't understand. What was the purpose of this ritual, and why do they keep it secret? I guess I've already talked with this, so... When Crusaders are near the World Wound, they often experience nightmares when they sleep. Do you have any trouble with nightmares here? No troubles with the nightmares here. The village is located on the outskirts of the World Wound, so perhaps that's why? I highly doubt it, but who knows. I have to go. Or I'll still keep you. Okay, Markle, I guess we'll talk with. I think we've already talked with him. Look, the commander's here. Welcome back. Please stay for as long as you'd like. Honestly, I'm just going to go speed through the conversation. Oh, well, I guess there... To give you a rough idea of what's going on, there's a budding romance between the Rastil priest here and the girl of Markle. But yeah. Okay. Alright, I have to go. But yeah, no, there's nothing too special around here aside from that for now. But there will come a point in time where we will come back to this village. But that is a time in the near future, I should specify. Alright, we'll save here. And let's just explore the outer regions of this area. Because there is a few places here that is exceptionally more difficult, as you can probably guess. Starting with the direwolves, obviously, for a number of reasons. There we go. Okay, that's 2 of the direwolves dealt with. Perfect. We'll skin them, collect. Nice. Organize up. And let's go check out this area, because I do believe there's, yep, more wolves. Panther shall take the brunt, so that's good. And it seems like our blasts of magic and effects are actually going through, so that's good. We'll collect the successful skins. Grab the loot here. And if I'm not mistaken, there should be an even more dangerous foe somewhere around here. But we shouldn't need to worry about that just yet. I do believe it's across the river, though, specifically. Or somewhere around here, anyways. We'll save here. Just in case, you never know. Thankfully, no damage has been taken, so that's perfect for us, honestly. And if we move along here, we get to an elk. There we go. Alright, the Megalodon is here. Or Megalosaurus, I suppose, is the proper term. We'll activate the rage there. Okay, turn it off. Actually, let's just turn into a small earth elemental with our caster here. There we go. It appears that we've leveled up our cleric, so that's good. It's a bit awkward for a photo shoot here, but that's fine. We're going to boost up persuasion, use magic device. Honestly, mobility is not that big. We'll just focus on perception at this point. We can get ourselves Kurungan Smash, or we can go with Outflank, I suppose. Let's see. I can get Outflank instead of Kurungan Smash, I suppose. Let's see. Kurungan Smash would get us the Intimidate, what we need. No, we're just going to go Outflank, because we already got Trapjaw doing the Intimidate, so Outflank is going to be necessary to increase our accuracy to some degree. Every tidbit is necessary, basically. Okay, I'm going to organize up. We'll do a save here. And off we go. Oh, that's ominous. Yep. As you could probably guess, this is going to be a more difficult fight. We want to deal with the Simoleon because they're going to be dealing the most damage. We are going to activate... Let's see. Do I identify them? Let's see. Alright, well. Let's just hope we can handle them. Okay, yeah, no. That's pain. I was right to save when I did. Yeah, no, as you can probably guess, the Simoleon and the bear is going to be really difficult. Yes, we do have a Simoleon ourselves, but that's not going to help us against these two foes. They're actually very strong, so we have to play it very carefully. Alright, Skeletor, we're going to need you to grease it up, I guess. Well, first, actually, let's go Sense Vitals. Trapjaw, you're gonna want to do your thing with... Yep, that.
So many thoughts.
Okay, we've got Dazzling Display, which we don't need to use currently.
Let's shake a leg.
Alright, Evelyn, you're gonna be responsible for sleep duty this time.
I'll make my own legend.
Quick, else we miss all the fun.
Yeah, we're gonna try and make the sleep happen. Triclops, you're fine. Okay.
Shall we move? We shall move.
Merman, you're fine. I guess we'll go with protection from... I guess protection from evil is usually just a staple here, so we'll go with that. Beastman's perfectly fine as is, so...
We should move.
I crave for I see blood! Blood!
Okay, Panther, come on. Alright, let's just hope that's enough. Yeah, no, we're dying. Okay. I need to do something a bit better then. I'm probably gonna have to do a grease here, if that's gonna work. Yeah, grease might be the saving grace here, honestly. Okay. Alright, Skeletor. I guess I can actually do a pit spell instead. Yeah. Let's start with the pit, see if that works. Okay. The bear's gonna come through, that's fine. Okay, the Simoleon gets up, and... Okay, so Panther's down. Triclops is gonna get harassed. We're gonna want to use... Alright, that gets to kill, that's not good. Okay, we need to deal with the Simoleon first, because obviously he's the one that's taking the most brunt here. So we're gonna have to do a grease instead. At least I think that's the best way to go about it anyways. Okay.
Let's shake a leg.
Skeletor. We're gonna start with this.
I see blood. Blood!
Okay, we want to then grease up the area. Nope, not there. We want to grease up these guys. There we go. That'll help with targeting foes. We're going to target the Plague Simoleon here, specifically. Okay, Panther's taking a brunt beating. That's fine. Yeah, that's actually 2 Simoleons. Okay, that's not good. Okay, Merman's taking a beating, but thankfully...
I'll just have to resort to brute force.
Alright, the Vital Strike's coming in clutch, nice. Oh, Trapjaw's down. Alright, they're getting the beat down on them. That's not good. Alright, come on, Merman. Let's actually do... Okay, we can't fear because they're undead. Okay. Good to note. We can't... I guess we can try and put them to sleep. Okay, yeah, there goes one. Oh, great. Okay. I mean, I'm getting there somehow. But it's the... It's just the lockdown that we have to deal with is the big issue. Okay, come on. Okay, if we organize ourselves... Yeah, if we organize ourselves here... Alright, Skeletor, we want you to move up. Okay, we want to grease it up. Come on. There we go. Bear's greased up. And we will set up a entanglement next. Okay, there goes Panther. He's down. Triclops goes down. Okay, everybody else is going down at this rate. Okay, Pain. Okay, there goes Beastman. Trapjaw's next. Okay, yeah, no. Okay. We're gonna have to find a proper buff here instead of the usual that we do. I think haste is obviously to go to, obviously, among other reasons. Grease is obviously a good choice for us, but we still need to do more than that, so... First and foremost, Panther needs a buff to AC and all that jazz, so we're gonna first focus on that. Okay, natural armor bonus. He's already got bark skin, so we're not too worried about that. We're going to want to use Shield of Faith here to increase AC to 32. What else can we do? We can Bless Weapon, but that's probably not going to help. Instead, we will use a Blur here to get a 20% miss chance. Let's see, what else can we do? We can... There's not much else we can do, really. Everybody's fatigued currently, that's fine. Okay, what else is there? There's things that... If we can improve the dexterity raw, then that's good. We will use a Scroll of Haste. That will give everybody a boost in speed. Then we get a Scroll of Cat's Grace or Potion of Cat's Grace. That'd be the best course of action if we can. Bull Strength would increase the amount of chances to hit. Eagle Splendor is not going to do us any good, I do believe. Divine Favor is a personal spell, so not so good on Panther. We'd need to give him ability points in UMD if that were the case. And even then, animals, so probably not the best core. Well, I guess animals are pretty good at using magical devices, I guess. Stunning barrier, no. Blur, we've already done. Scroll blindness, it's fine. Mirror image, we will have to address. We can't use it, though. Al's wisdom is not going to help us. Protection from chaos communal. Should probably use a protection from evil communal, I suppose, but that's probably not going to help. Remove paralysis, restoration lesser. Stone skin might be a good choice, but I think good hope is also good. We'll stick with what we got for now, though. Alright, Skeletor, we want you to toss a grease in there. Specifically over here. There we go. Alright. First focus on Plague Simoleon. Okay, nice. Back up. Alright, we want to focus on them. Move back. There we go. Triclops is a primary target, it seems, but that's fine. We'll let Triclops take the hits, but now because the grease is working as effectively as intended, there we go. Makes for an easy kill. Alright, it took a bit of planning, but we managed to do it. Just a well-placed grease is enough to handle most fights. We'll skin everything here. We'll grab the loot as we see fit. We got a Shield of Faith in turn for doing that. And of course the experience, which is the most important bit. We'll grab those. That is a Potion of Vanish. That's nice. We will pause here, do a save so we don't have to do that again, obviously. And off we go. Okay, there should be some stuff here. Oh, there's megalosauruses. Okay, we'll deal with them, I guess. There we go. Okay, that's one. Okay, Triclops is suffering. That's fine. We just have him back up. Okay, now we deal with the ferocious Megalosaurus. There we go. This should probably go for the kill. There we go. Nice. Skin and collect. Nice. Got a few items here. That's pretty good. Okay, more just trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. There doesn't appear to be any other loot aside from checking, you know, the other locations here and there. We'll pause, do a save here, just in case. There we go. Alright, is there anything on the other side of here? There is an elk, so we'll get rid of the elk, I suppose. Alright, that's the elk. Skin. Got a nice little box here. Cool. And it appears Skeletor's slow as heck. Hold on. Alright, he's suffering from, yeah, a bunch of fatigue, but that's fine.
This way.
Okay, yeah, no, he's fast. He's fast, then. Okay, but that's basically everything to this village. As I expected, it wasn't that fast of a, or wasn't that much trouble. As you can probably guess, given the circumstances here. But yeah, that is basically the village in a nutshell. There will be more things to come when we deal with this village, but that is when the Crusades finally begin. Well, their next stage, I should say. But it's not that bad. Okay, as for anything further, we're going to do a quick save here. Mainly because I'm curious about what this, if there's more to this area here specifically. It looks like there is, yep. It's just another divergent route, which is fine. We are not going to rest. Let's see. Our Crusader army is currently at 40 speed, that's fine. And we can now recruit more individuals, so might as well take advantage of that, right? We'll recruit these guys, so that way we get some more clerics. We can't recruit any more, but we can recruit some archers and some soldiers, which we will immediately split into a new group. Alright, we're going to split this into Crusader Army 1. There we go. And Crusader Army 1 will be responsible for rushing to the front lines and trying to join up with Crusader Army 2. Alright, Crusader Army 2, we will station to remain at this position until we are ready to go to Leper's Smile. Okay, we failed to sneak past the enemies, apparently. So, yeah. Good thing we're collecting our forces quite easily. Okay, it appears we got a shear, we've got a succubus, and 2 spiders. Hopefully we can handle these guys at this point. We will enrage, just to be safe. Okay, Skeletor is going to take an L there, that's fine. Okay, Dominate's not going to be fun. Okay. Deal with the succubus, because she's gonna... Oh, yeah, no, we're gonna load. This is why I save. Because of situations like that, that's not fun. But yeah, no. It seems like we're going to have to give Trapjaw a efficiency buffer at some point. Okay, well, we're gonna go Chili Creek. Shoot up here. Here we go. Let's recruit everybody. There we go. Seems we got a bit more because of this. We can search for more units if we wish. But they're more costly. So we're not going to. We will split these guys up once more. And send them off. Off they go. Okay, Crusader Army 2, just move there. Let us do a quick save just in case this time. Okay, keep going. And finally, we'll enter the camp and we will get our rest before we help Nenio. Now, once we do help Nenio, we're going to have to swap her back for somebody, our main group, but that's a given. Alright, come on, boy.
This way.
Let's go. Okay, we're going to talk with Wooljiff to get some trade in. Show me what you can get. Alright, let's see. We've got a keen composite longbow. We've got a masterwork hand axe, which we're not going to need these. We'll sell all these. Okay. Let's go bulk selling, just to get everything off our backs. We'll keep most of the scrolls, I'm thinking, but we may sell some here and there, but we'll see. Alright, price in descending order, as usual. Let's see. Go see... Alright, Fall Shard is pretty interesting. Gnome Hooked Hammer of Discipline. +1 damage to chaotic creatures. Yeah, not that good. Okay, there doesn't appear to be anything worthwhile there. Okay, we've got the Robe of Inevitability, which gives a +2 to Spell Pen, which is pretty good. I might grab these Robes of Inevitability, actually. Yeah, let's grab these. That way we got some extra spell penetration. We can get some Rings of Protection, Bracers of Armor, but we actually get buffs. Or, we have buff spells that can cover that, so we don't need to worry about it. We do have some specialty wands here, so we'll definitely grab a Wand of Haste. Because having that is just going to make our actions much faster, much better in general. So, Never hurts to grab. We can grab the Lesser in Power if we wish. That would be a good Steven ability. There is the Extend Metamagic Wand, but I don't think we need it. Yeah, we'll grab the Lesser in Power. We'll grab the Potions of Heroism just in case. Alright. We shouldn't need a Wand of Sleep, so we're basically going to just grab... Well, I guess we got Scrolls of Heroism. We don't need potions, so... We'll use the Scrolls of Heroism. We'll get some... Fox's Cunning? No, we'll get Cat's Grace. Okay, sell the Wand of Grease. We'll keep the Cat's Grace. Alright, that should be it then. Yep, there we go. We're buying a lot, but that's fine. Item-wise, we are going to give these robes to Skeletor. The silver robes are going to specifically go to Trapjaw, actually. Because he's been having some trouble with fear... Well, not fear, but... It still helps. It's just a small buff, just in case we run into any fear-based builds. Last thing we want is to run away from our combats, after all. Okay, let's get some rest in. Okay, we got a fish on a stick, which is going to be the staple for us. We're going to organize as we do. We're going to make another scroll of mirror image, I guess, because why not? Alright. And with that, we are now fully rested. We can take Nenio on our adventure. We're going to have to level her up, though, mind you. But once she's leveled up, we are good to go. Alright. We got the fish on a success, or a fish on a stick. We got the scroll of mirror image. Words. And we are good to go.
Wherever my legs
Everybody should be restored. We're going to go for the area exit, because I do not believe there's anything special that we need to worry about. We are going to toss away Evelyn for now, in favor of Nenio, because Nenio is a caster. Ah, I just didn't do that. Great. Okay, let's go back in, get Nenio, then go back in. Then we go back to the camp once we're done with her, and then we can go from there. Yeah, let's load here, I suppose. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright, toss Evelyn, get Nenio. There we go. Alright, so our goal is to go to the Nameless Ruins. We're going to shoot up along here to get there. Then we're probably going to take that other path and then wind back here before we go to Leper Smile properly. As for Nenio's abilities, we're just going to keep her on Scroll Savant duty. So we're definitely going to boost up her dexterity just to be safe. Boost up her stats. There we go. She's going to basically be our knowledge junkie. Grab invisibility and blur as a staple, because those are going to be very good item or abilities to have in the near future. Okay. Greater Spell Focus Illusion, because she's perfect at illusion-based spells. We'll grab Displacement, because that's a good spell. We'll also grab Blink, because that is the next best thing. As for her mythic ability, we are just going to go with Ascended... No, not Ascended Element. We shall go with... I guess Enduring Spells, yeah. Enduring Spells is probably the best course of action. Alright, we are going to go to the Nameless Ruins now. I'm not expecting to rely on Nenio, to be honest. So, yeah. We're just going to be using her for the purposes that it's just convenient. As for wartime, we move back to Army 1. And we will quickly move them along to merge. Got 38, that brings us to 303, and 119 army. Army 3 is perfectly fine. We will shoot back here to the Nameless Ruins. Alright.
This way.
We will be
Okay,
victorious.
Ghoul Stalkers. Okay, that's not fun. Oh, auto-casting. You know what? Let's load. Actually, yeah, let's load. That way we can actually do this properly, because I didn't buff up after all. And that can be a dangerous gambit to deal with. Alright, let's enter in. There we go. Yeah, not buffing up was the wrong move.
I'm up for an adventure.
Okay, start with the bark skin here. Then we go with Bless. We'll follow up with Shield of Faith. We are then going to use... I guess we don't need to do any resist elements, but just in case we will do resist cold and resist acid to be safe. Triclops, you're fine. I guess you can do enlarge person on yourself. Beastman, you're gonna bark skin everybody who isn't an animal companion. Okay. And Trapjaw. Triclops, you're going to want to use shield. Blur is going to go on Panther here specifically. Mirror Image, Beastman, you will use protection from fire here. And we will swap you over to change into a Earth Elemental, I do believe. Or I could go Wolf. Let's go Wolf, because that at the very least gets some trip attacks, which is actually really nice. Alright, let's save. Let's get going.
This way.
Okay, here they come.
Be victorious.
Alright, Skeletor, we want you to be on ready for greasing it up. Okay. Grease up this area. Here we go. Oh, careful. There we go. Most of them have been greased. That's good. I do believe most undead are immune to cold damage. Or so I thought, but I guess not. I should probably have used, Alright, Beastman's knocked prone, that's fine. As long as we're large, that should be fine. Alright, we're going to quickly dispel the grease now. There we go. Okay. We'll grab the items here and be done with it.
Shall we move?
Skeletor, we're going to want to use a buff here to give Panther a buff to AC. And because Beastman is already an animal, we're going to give him mage armor. Because goodness knows he's not going to be using armor at this rate. Which is fine. I'm used to that sort of thing. We'll do a save here because there is a cave, so you never know.
Wherever my legs carry me.
Probably a lot of traps if I had to guess. But you never know. Okay. It's around here. Okay, there's a trap here. A trap here.
Forwards? No, backwards. Backwards!
Okay, there appears to be something here. Alright. In that case,
Courage is the key to victory.
Damage living. I could do a contagion here, but that's probably not going to help us here. Yeah, if we're going to do anything, we should probably disable that trap, so... Quickly get somebody to disable it.
It is done.
There we go. Reorganize, and... off we go.
Time to practice my combat ability.
The Plague Simoleon is the focus, obviously, because they're going to be dealing the most, I'm predicting anyways. Alright, Panther takes some grunts, but that's fine. If we have our healer dealing with it... yeah, if we heal Panther here mid-fight with Merman. There we go. That should work in our favor.
I'm wounded.
Okay. Triclops has taken some hits, but that's fine. He is currently the weakest link. To a degree, anyways. Okay, a Ghoul Stalker. There appears to be a will DC involved with this, so we gotta be careful. We'll grab the loot as we can. We'll pick the locks as we see fit.
I am finished.
Alright, let's disarm this trap and be on with it.
I am finished.
Alright, let's do a save here. And let's see. The scattered remains are sickening to look upon. The ghouls clearly ate their fill. Fortunately, they were not interested in the jewelry left by the bodies. As a compensation, we get a Ring of Protection +2. So that's nice. That's a good addition for us. Okay, we are going to be using some healing here. So we will be using some from our various big old plethora here. Oh, we don't need to equip. Alright. That's 4 scrolls used. We can use a number here. We'll use until fully healed. Use until fully healed. Which we can't. Strictly for him. We'll just use some potions, because that's the next best thing. And be on our merry way. There should be more to this cave, I do believe. On this side. Yeah, there's some stuff. We'll save just to be safe. There we go. Okay, game saved, and we can move on. Ah, hello. Skeletor, we will introduce here. That's just a staple for what we do. There we go. Those that can't handle it, we will just focus on the ghouls that are standing. There we go. Okay, Ghoul Creeper, yep, there we go. And, yeah, that guy's just prone, and now with a removal, there we go, done. And that is the area removed, and we are good to go. We'll grab everything we can from these guys. It's just leather armor, it seems, though, so... And there appears to be a symbol here. Okay, it has a round circle, and it has clear edges on the middle circles. Okay. That is probably something to do with the puzzle, which we will address later. Not immensely later, mind you, but very soon we'll get to it. Okay. Well, with that, we can reorganize and be good to go. We will save, because we did manage to do this successfully. If I'm not mistaken, this area is actually, yep, as predicted. Okay, we'll go with Beastman, get his rage in. Nenio should probably back up at this point. Trapjaw, you should probably back up as well. There we go. Yep, Trapjaw is just a bona fide monster when it comes to attacking. Okay, Panther, we want you to rush in. Skeletor and Nenio, get close. Okay, Nenio, back up. Nice. And now, there we go. Good job. Alright, with that, we can now move on. Got some engraved bracelet, which is just sell items. Got some healing. Oh. Okay, back up. Back up, back. Okay, yeah, no, Plague Bear is not fun to deal with. We'll do a save here again. There we go. Better to be safe than sorry. Okay, Plague Bear goes next. And that's a critical hit. Nice, for 60. That's impressive. Okay, Merman's taking the brunt here, it seems. That's fine. Okay, he went prone, he got back up, but probably died in the process. That's good. Okay, we got some more loot here. There seems to be a place that we can go up there, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, it is not something we can access. Never mind. Alright, stance up, save, and off we go to the next area. As you can probably guess, these streams go pretty fast. Well, these fights go pretty fast. If I were doing turn-based mode, it would be a lot slower, but it'd be a lot more balanced in our favor. At least that's how I've learned it to be. Now, there are certain, I guess there is one certain event that, changes the way you play, but I digress. All we gotta do is trigger that, and I do believe that opens it. What was it? Is it this? No. What was it? There should have been a symbol there. Yeah, I know there was the outside symbol. Is there anything else that's showing around here I should be aware of? I don't see anything. Hold on. Maybe if I go back into cave, it'll give me an answer. Or if I go down further, maybe it'll give me an answer. Because I know the outer ring is obviously one of those such things. Oh, no, wait, here we go. There's a small compartment here, and it appears the outer circle and the inner circle is something worth noting. Okay. Oh, there's loot somewhere here? Where'd it go? Oh, it's down there. Okay. It appears that this one's the... So we got the outer circle. The inner circle is lit. So we gotta light this. Turn off these, I suppose. Okay. Well, I guess we can do by trial by error, I suppose. We'll get Panther to do this. Okay. Nope. Nope. Okay, if we do this... Okay, that doesn't activate. How about this? There we go. Nice. Trial by, practice. Well, trial by error. Okay, we managed to get a phylactery of positive channeling for our troubles. And let's see, Cloak of Cleansing. +2 Cloak grants the wearer +2 saving throws against compulsion disease effects. We are currently having the worst luck with compulsion, so that's actually the best choice. Amulet of Natural Armor we can actually take off because we actually used, we use a Shield of Faith. Well, not Shield of Faith, but, we use the bark skin. So we don't need natural armor amulets, to be honest. Rings of Protection, that's another... Well, the Rings of Protection we can wear, because we use them a lot more. Although, do we give them to them? I think we give them to Panther, which we can't actually, so never mind. Yeah, if we could give it to Panther, I would. Otherwise, we are going to give it to the ones who are absolutely going to melee. So it's probably gonna have to be Merman. Yeah, we'll give Merman that. There we go. And the phylactery of positive channeling, not good for us. We need a negative channeling phylactery if we want to make good use of that. Ghoul corpses. It's as if they had simply laid down and died of their own accord. I suspect some shenanigans. Hello. The absence of an answer is an answer too.
Never my legs carry me.
I am the question, but what is the question? And yeah, as you can see, there's two symbols there, so... There you go. It appears that there's a bunch of strangers, and yeah. The ruins are so ancient that it's impossible to tell what was responsible for all this destruction. Okay. We go into the middle, and Nenio and me will see what's going on. I am the answer. But what is the question? An elf woman in a frayed robe turns her head to you and stares at you through the slits of her simple white mask. Then she holds out her hand and touches the ancient statue. The absence of an answer is an answer too. Hey, wait, where are you going? Spontaneous dematerialization is unscientific. Nenio touches the statue and suddenly freezes. Following her example, you put your hand on the statue, and the world around you ceases to exist. You are a lone grain of sand floating in the emptiness of the unknown. Your path has no beginning and no end. You are tiny and insignificant in comparison with the cosmos that surround you. But then something changes. The emptiness takes notice of you. It stares at you, measures and assesses you. Then a question comes. As simple, as deep as the emptiness itself. What about you? The emptiness does not engage. The question was asked, and it will be answered. I'm not going to answer. You'll answer, one way or another. Today or in a billion of years, the emptiness is patient. It can wait. Let me out of here. A foolish demand from a grain of sand floating through the eternity. How can one get out of infinity? I'm Skeletor. The name you uttered, that seemed so powerful and proud, rings through the emptiness. Then the silence comes, bleak and oppressive. The emptiness still awaits your answers. I am. Do you want to say your name? But what is it? Just a set of sounds you use to associate with yourself. You are Skeletor? Who decided this is who you are? Your parents? Yourself? Someone else? A name is just a label you take voluntarily. What happens if you tear this label off? What hides behind the name Skeletor? Behold the truth. Open yourself to knowledge. Reveal yourself.
I am Nenio. Nenio. You hear me? You voice from nowhere or whatever you are?
You hear a stifled cough nearby. Where Nenio used to be, you now see an unfamiliar kitsune curled up tight on the ground. Nenio. Well, you are a kitsune.
It appears your observation is correct. I am a kitsune.
The kitsune stares down at her hands, then runs her fingers over her pointy muzzle, lingering over her sharp teeth and ears.
If my hypothesis is correct, and the probability of that is close to 100%, I have always been a kitsune, but at some point I decided to forget that piece of knowledge. Following this line of reasoning, it would seem the fact of my membership of a certain race just doesn't seem relevant to me.
Nenio scratches behind her ear.
Also, there is a more important question. Why did my true identity reveal itself in this precise moment?
She casts a pensive look at an ancient statue towering over you. How could you forget you were kitsune?
This question is irrelevant in the current situation. If you wish, you can ask me about it later. If you believe that I've been keeping my true identity a secret on purpose, you are mistaken. I have no interest in your causes, your battles, or your secrets, if you have any. All I need from you is your assistance with my experiments. And with this.
Nenio sweeps her hand in a wide circle, gesturing at the statues around you. What was that? I found myself in emptiness, and a voice asked me questions.
I suppose it was a trap that yanked our minds out of our plane and temporarily transferred us to another one. I wish I knew which plane. By the way, did you know that the most efficient way to disarm a corridor's worth of magical traps is with the help of a scientist who has been told that the formula for an elixir of the ancient races lies hidden at the end of said booby-trapped corridor?
Whose voice do you think it was?
I haven't the slightest idea. But it is most definitely an extremely wise entity. Besides, the entity displayed no aggressive tendencies, which gives us hope that it can be reasoned with.
So, what do you think about that?
The voice in the emptiness asked me, and judging by your reaction, you too, who I am. And merely stating my name failed to satisfy it. The trap then forced me to assume my true form, which I had completely forgotten about.
Nenio frowns.
I suppose this trap wasn't a trap per se. It rather was a closed portal leading to some hidden place that can easily unveil secrets and reveal the truth. The one who spoke to us seemed to solve me like a riddle, in an instant just by looking at me. I would like to meet this entity. Can you imagine which secrets it can unravel? I want to speak to it, and you, my follower, must help me.
The kitsune's eyes light up.
But how can you get there? If there is a door, there must be a way to open it. If there's a lock, there must be a key to it. There is an inscription here, right on the statue. I am the void and the emptiness. I am the starting point. I am infinite. Tear my mask off and let it fall at my feet. I don't understand this at all. How thrilling!
Sounds like a riddle.
It does. It really does. I love riddles and puzzles.
Okay, so how do we solve it?
Each of them is inscribed with a riddle, and each demands that something be placed at its feet. I guess we need some items that represent the answers to these riddles, but don't ask me where we should look for them.
Okay, we probably won't get answers from the geysers, but
I
yeah.
don't think they can help us. Looks like all they can do is mumble their mantra about questions and answers.
Yeah, as I figured. Why are you so sure this unknown entity behind the mysterious portal would even want to talk to us?
I'm not sure at all, but we must try. We simply must. Getting there and talking with this entity will be the greatest of my experiments. No exaggeration.
A portal that leads to the unknown could be dangerous.
The world wound is dangerous. Walking under a hanging icicle is dangerous. Even choking on a chunk of badly chewed food can lead to a fatal outcome after all. Living is dangerous. But what is danger compared to knowledge?
Well, it looks like there's nothing we can do here now, though.
With deepest regret, I have to admit that you are right. It's highly unlikely that we'll be able to solve this riddle right here and now. We'll have to temporarily withdraw so we can return when we're armed and ready.
Right. We don't... So, to give you a rough idea of what's going on here, until we get, we need to get our hands on 4 specific masks. Now, We will be getting these masks over the course of the game, so don't worry too much about that. There will come a time where we can address them. But for now, it's not accessible for us right now. But in the near future, that will change. Well, not near future, but the long future ahead of us with this game. There will come a chance that we will be able to unlock this stuff without too much hassle. So, we will take our advantages where we can get them, basically, and just hope that's enough. For now, though, that is as much as we can do. We're going to level up real quick with our Magus here. Boost up his stuff here. There we go. As for his abilities, naturally we want to focus on dexterity-based attacks. We've got Piranha Strike, we've got Dazzling Display. I think what we need right now is Outflank. Yep, that'll give him a +4 to attacks. We now have third level casting, so we'll get Blink and Displacement, I guess. That is just the best choices here for now. There we go. And off we go to the area exit, to where we replace and get Evelyn back, and then we will do our biggest thing yet among the lot of things that we're doing. Now, just to confirm, basically, we've already got the Secrets of Creation, Banner to the Citadel. Okay, In Pursuit of the Past. Yeah, we got that. While the World Burns, we don't need to worry about that. Neither that. Okay, Banner of the Citadel is a time-limited quest. The Outcast is Kaelus's thing. Okay, yep. As you can see, if it doesn't have this time token here, that means it's a pressing task. Because we don't have that on here, we don't need to worry about it too much. So. Oh, there's someone on the road. Get ready. Alright. Let us do a save here just in case, because I'm not sure what's going to happen. But we'll see. Must be someone here if it's of importance. Grab this. Oh, hello. Okay, Babaus are acid-inclined beings, so I should keep that in mind. Copy these recipes while I can. Let's see. We're going to use a Scroll of Haste here. This will help us just fight off the foes some.
So many thoughts.
Panther, let's see. Stat-wise, you're fine. You got what you can. Okay. Panther's going to take the lead, naturally. There we go. We'll activate Beastman's Frenzy here, just so we got more damage. There we go. Done. Okay, we can grab all these now, without too much hassle, and a note written in neat handwriting. Come to my camp if you want to talk. I have much to share with you. A friend. Drawn on the back of the note is a map with cross lines marking a spot. Interesting. A very interesting, unpredictable message. Sudden, but not unwelcome, I suppose? Is there anything else around here? I don't think there is, so yeah. Alright, with that then, we can move on our merry way, I guess? Yeah. There's nothing around here beyond that, so let's get going back to the camp. We're reaching the Fatigue settlement, or we're reaching the Fatigue anyways, so we should be ready for that. Let's just get out of here then. I am not a Lich yet. No, Barlow. That is going to take a while, and that's going to take specifically over to Dresden. There is a certain point where Dresden will reach a vital point. That is when we will become a Lich. I'm just going to be getting the prerequisites to become a Lich, specifically. We will enter this location. And we will take a quick rest before we go on our next expedition. Well, do we need a rest? I'm not too hard-pressed, but it might be best if we take the rest. Yeah, let's get a rest in. Why not? But first, let's sell what we want and go from there. Okay, sell these. Okay, this keen composite longbow. Who's going to use it? That's the question. Let's see. Alright, let's open our inventory and see. Okay, the keen composite longbow is a sort of martial. Okay, Evelyn's not going to be able to use it. We can give it to somebody else if need be. Preferably, I'd like to give it to somebody dex-based, but it seems like the only person who's going to be wielding it is Trapjaw, but he's not the best when it comes to ranged weapons, so I'm just going to sell the bow. Why not? Yep, let's just sell the longbow, get some money out of it, and be done with it. Phylactery of Positive Channeling is useless to us because we don't use it often enough. We'll keep the Cloak of Disguise because that is stealth. We'll sell the Amulet of Natural Armor. Headband of Vast Intelligence is absolutely a keep because that will help with Evelyn's casting, I do believe. So we'll give her that. This is a +1 Cloak of Stealth, so let's see. Who else has a good stealth? Okay, so we got a 3, we've got a 6, a -3, a 5, a -16, and for Skeletor, it's a 1, Panther's a 4. Okay, so the best wearer is going to be actually Triclops, so we're going to give the cloak to him. Alright, I believe it's here, yep. We're just going to give him that instead of the Cloak of Resistance. And that'll give us a reason, well, that'll give us ample resources necessary. Okay, we're going to quickly go to the commander's tent, get the rest in. Panther is going to come running, obviously, so quickly get that done. Oh, mysterious elf in the Nevia. Hello. A wounded elf, huh? Well, there were lots of wounded elves in Canabris. Who wounded him? In what way? Anivia appears relaxed, even nonchalant, but her eyes gleam attentively, and her hands, as if by coincidence, are resting on her belt next to her weapon. How should I know? It must have been demons. If the wound was serious, I doubt he had fully recovered from it. Maybe if you could point me towards a healer, I could... The woman, wrapped in rags all the way up to her eyes, turns around at the sound of your footsteps. Damn it! In a lightning-fast motion, Anivia knocks something from the woman's hand, an amulet that seemingly appears out of nowhere. It falls to the ground and disappears in a flash of magic. What's the rush, sweetheart? Stay a while. The commander and me, we've got a couple of questions for you too. You won't escape this time. Who are you, and why are you hiding your face? You hear a heavy sigh coming from under the shawl. Fine, you got me. We'll talk, but not here. Lead me somewhere away from prying eyes. She is all yours, Commander. I caught her, I handed her over, and now, as they say, I wash my hands of this whole affair. What do you want from me, soldier? In an exasperated gesture, she rips the half-mask off her face, and you can see her black skin and crimson eyes. It's Kaelessa, the elf you met in Canabris. Don't call me soldier, I'm commander of the crusade. She shrugs. Everyone's a soldier in war, generals and privates alike. I look at you and I see someone whose life is war and only war. That makes you a soldier. Are you a spy? Her scarlet eyes flash defiantly, and she mutters through her teeth. I'm not going to hide it. I have come here to commit a violent, bloody act. But I do not serve the demons, and I won't do you or your forces any harm. Don't play coy, I need details. Why? Frowning skeptically, she gives you an appraising look. And what will you do with my story? Take it into account and pass your judgment? Kill me if you deem reproachable. Help the poor girl if you don't. Well, I haven't asked for help, and your authority to judge me seems rather dubious. She's lying to you. And it's plain as day. I'll leave you be for now. She shrugs casually, as if her fate has not been hanging in the balance just a moment ago. How nice of you, soldier. Why did you follow my army? To find someone. Kalosa lets out a resigned huff. His masters want me dead, which means I will die sooner or later. After a pause, she narrows her eyes and spits out. But that doesn't mean I'll lie down and accept my fate. I'm no lamb to the slaughter, and I won't be waiting for a kindly executioner to come for me, knife in hand. Never again. I've met other elves who looked like you. They served the demons. Anemora's minions. The word escapes her lips before she's able to stop them. Then she looks at you with visible irritation. One of Discari's servants is a powerful elf by the name of Anemora, and those corrupted elves are her lackeys. Don't ask me how I know this, or why my appearance is similar to theirs. I'm not your enemy, but if you see them, kill them without remorse. Fine. I have to go. My gut tells me it's time I was leaving too. It's dangerous to stay here. Farewell, soldier. Okay, not exactly what we wanted to deal with, but whatever. Seems things are just riling up, regardless of what we do, so that's nice. Alright, Nura's tent. Let's check it out. How you doing? Okay, nothing's going on. Good. Good, good, good. Anything else worth checking out? Not really. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. We're gonna get a quick rest in with the commander tent, and we'll be good to go. Okay. Short rest. We will organize everybody in position. There we go.
Foxes are incredibly intelligent. Yes.
Alright, I will ignore that and move on. Okay. We failed to do the fish on a stick, which sucks, but whatever. It happens. Alright, we're going to go area exit. We will toss out Nenio, get Evelyn back in, and move on our merry way. We're getting out of here. Yeah, no, it's fine. With the light rest, they heal to full, so that's good. Okay, we'll move you there. There we go. And off we go to Leper Smile, which is the next location we have to go to. Okay. This is probably going to be a very, very big thing here. So we're just going to have to see what we do. We're going to move in and hope it's enough. Okay, before we enter, I need to check something real quick, because this determines what I do. And it may affect the morale of the army immensely if I don't do this right. So I should be very careful, basically. Okay, let's see. Okay, Okay, so we have 5 choices for loot, basically. It's really depending on what we do, ultimately. I don't think any of these items really come into being an important aspect here. But basically, let's see. We will lose... All of our armies will lose troops, and you'll incur morale penalties. Okay, interesting. That doesn't really specify what I'm looking at. You know what? Okay. Alright. So I did a quick investigation. It only says that we're going to lose troops as a result of this, and we will suffer morale penalties. But it doesn't actually specify how bad those penalties are going to be. Alright, let's see. You can find unique loot that you can pick up. However, if you do this, the advanced army will suffer more casualties, your Crusader armies lose troops, and you'll incur morale penalties. Okay, yeah, it doesn't specify what happens ultimately, but it's very important that I figure out what I'm going to do here. But, yeah. Danger and distress rest heavily upon the scales, their measure soaring on a perilous march to Dresden. The army moves steadily along the bank of the West Selen, scarred with canyons and ravines. Suddenly, a group of scouts return. Anevia, the leader of the group, makes two urgent signs to the soldiers: wait and quiet. She dashes through the ranks to the commander, who awaits her report. We've got trouble, she whispers. The road ahead is split by a canyon. To get to Dresden, we'll have to go down there, and then up to the other side. But the canyon is swarming with foul creatures. Vevasectors, a real pain in the neck. They won't shy away from our soldiers' weapons, and they've already managed to gobble someone up. Looks like a caravan of refugees from Canavras have lost their way. No one has ever reported Vevasector so far from the center of the whirlwind. Where did they come from? Anevia bites her lip. They still haven't noticed us, but that won't hold true for long. Maybe if we retreat quietly. The commander makes a sign for her to stop. First, what else can you tell me about the enemy? Those nasty little critters, they can ruin your gear and drive you nuts with the buzzing. Anevia sighs in a rush. They've got a queen, and a mother of the whole swarm. She's a right whore, but if we kill her, the bulk of the swarm will scatter, and we'll take care of the rest of them somehow. After hearing his scout's reports, the commander prepares to convene a council to determine a plan of action. The commander and his companions convene a field council. The army cannot march around the obstacles, for there is no other road. Retreat is far too risky. Should the swarm notice the army and catch it out in the open, no one would survive. None utters the word trap, but fear hangs in the air. A swarm of omnivorous beasts just happens to be in the army's path. Someone has arranged this for their own nefarious ends. Rustling, grating, squeaking, humming, everyone hears the voice of the swarm through the sky before the army remains clear. For now. How long until it's darkened by the flying spawn of the abyss? An idea, a decision, straight and sharp like a soldier's sword, appears in their mind. The Crusader Council grows grim. One unit must act as live bait to lure the swarm out of the canyon and clear the path to the Vevasector Queen. The commander will rush the monster, killing her quickly before the swarm decimates the army. They will get but one chance. A dark question looms. Who will lead the faithful squad to be consumed as bait? In moments of extreme stress, one often says one thing while meaning quite another. These hidden words often reveal many a curious thing. And what do we see here? Irbeth nobly states, I am an officer, best suited for the mission. But in truth she means, I cannot burden another with my responsibility. Skeletor, send me! Nur the historian emerges with an unexpected suggestion from behind the commander's back. This is just the sort of situation where ingenuity and knowledge of the enemy will be more useful than sword and armor. While she speaks, she thinks, I need to prove myself. Alright, let's look to our companions first. The ones who distract the swarm will need a healer. So Seal is the only one who speaks plainly. A healer might bring a few, though, A healer might bring a few, though, through the Vevasectors alive. The rest of the council remains silent, and this silence is filled with a chorus. There are other better suited, and the commander needs me alive. Okay, we've got three choices. We can go with Irbeth, Nur, or Seal. Ultimately, I don't think it matters who goes where, but I'm not 100% certain. Let's see. Yeah, it's only going to affect morale penalties, I think. Yeah, so I'm not too worried about the loss of troops. It might tank our morale, but considering how high our morale is already, which is 20, we're doing perfectly fine for morale. We can do with a big negative, need be. Alright. Okay, we're gonna go for, I guess... Let's go with Irbeth here. The commander and his party disappear among the rocks, preparing to slip down into the canyon, while the swarm is distracted by their bait. A tight-lipped Anivia shows the way. Behind them, the final preparations are being made. Irbeth looks over the volunteers who follow her on this most dangerous of missions. Focused yet calm, she lays out the offensive, grateful for the chance to face true danger instead of a boring office work. But is this driven by bravery or blind conceit? The soldiers tread fearfully down the road towards the dark edge of the canyon ahead. The rift that yawns open before them whispers, rasps, rattles in thousands upon thousands of voices. Vevasectors gather below, but the sky is above them, and the flying creatures might rise up and attack at any moment. The soldiers soon find the first body, the mangled corpse of a refugee from Canabras. A few straggling Vevasectors wriggle inside the dead man's gaping chest. Tiny larvae, in greenish shells, all shuffling, legs and hindering jaws. They don't seem menacing at all. But then the rasping noise stops for a moment, and at high, vibrating note pierces the air with a new force. A blur of brackish green clouds rise above the canyon. The swarm has taken the bait. Okay, The time to act has come. The leader of this faithful squad shouts that they shall scatter. Irbeth shivers, hesitating as the dark cloud blocks the sun. Her people, does she have a right to send them to their deaths? They've trained to fight demons, but what could they do against a swarm of loathsome insects from another plane? Even as she ponders, she offers her people to scatter, to confuse the cloud and perhaps save their lives. Having lost comrades in the first attack, the soldiers retreat, terrified and discouraged. The rasping, mumbling, and buzzing of the swarms paralyze the soldiers' will. Poisonous mandibles cut through armor and bone. The swarm could scour an entire city from the face of Galarian. These modest forces present no obstacle. No matter what strategy the mortal chooses, it's impossible to resist the eternal hunger of the abyss. The Vevasectors are the embodiments, no malevolent mind or terrible monster, but a million of half-sentient creatures who know no goal but destruction. An effective weapon for those prepared to trade fertile soil for wasteland. A chance remains for the commander to save his people, at least some portion. What will the leader decide? Now, For this Vevasector swarm, I'm going to take as much loot as possible here. And we'll see how things play out. So I'm going to do a quick save to start with. But our goal here is not to worry too much about minions, per se. Or the people that we're going to be leading, per se. We're going to be focusing on loot. That is the goal with this. Alright, Skeletor, remove fear. Alright, Triclops, we're going to want a large person on you. Beastman, I guess we go with Barkskin. Okay, we'll go Mage Armor here. Alright, Merman, we want you to do Barkskin here. Okay, Bless is going to be necessary. Skeletor, we want you to give Shield to Beastman. Okay. Alright, we've given Barkskin to Beastman. Pass the rest to here. Okay, Merman, you're fine. Alright, Evelyn, we want you to reduce Merman's size. Triclops, we're going to use Shield here. We'll use Blur on Panther here. Alright, Beastman, you're going to convert into a wolf, I guess? Yeah, let's go wolf, because that'll go with Trip. Triclops, you're going to be using Mirror Image. Evelyn, you're fine as is. Okay, we're going to activate Delayed Poison. Skeletor, we're going to give Barkskin over to Evelyn and himself. Okay, Evelyn. Actually, you know what, Evelyn? You give Skeletor the buff there. Okay, Trapjaw's good. Triclops, you're good. Okay, Merman, you're fine. Beastman, you're good. The only thing I'm worried about is acid, so we'll do a save here just in case. There we go. We'll go with that. There we go. Spots of light. Oh, God, hold on. Let me load that so I can actually read that properly. We gotta read it properly, at least. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be satisfied. Okay, just gotta wait. There we go. Spots of light and shadow dance along the walls of the canyon. High above your head, a swarm gathers, dark as a rain cloud. There are so many Vevasectors that they block out the sun. Luckily, you've escaped the attention of the swarm, which is focused upon the troops you've been using as bait. For now, at least. With a tired gesture, Anivia wipes the sweat and dust from her forehead. There's anxiety in her eyes. Commander, the beast we've come for is on the other end of our main corridor. There's a lot of burrows and plenty of beasts in them, but you better not delve too deep. Our people won't hold out long enough for us to clear the whole area. On the other hand, I saw the bodies of some poor carabiniers down on one of the side holes. They have some valuable stuff on them. The bugs will eat anything we don't grab. They can't tell the difference between flesh and steel. Did you manage to find out where these beasts came from? I'm not sure, but there are clear signs of a ritual closer to the Queen's bug lair. And they're fresh. Maybe somebody summoned the scum specifically for us. The demon filth figured out that we're never going to let Canopus go. Too bad we don't have a magic specialist who can figure out what those runes mean. Can you tell me anything more useful about this monster? I've never fought these before, so I don't know much. She's a nasty beast. She spits acid and summons her spawn for all around the area. One more thing. When I tried to get closer, I started feeling sick as a dog. I guess, like a lot of demons, she knows how to get inside your head. Let's move. Good luck. I'm right behind you, covering your back. I'll catch up when it's time to deal with the Queen. I need to determine to see if we can fail this Leper Smile quest. Let's see. Okay, Okay, so it's really just a choice of whether we need it or not. Okay, let's see. We're going to be using unarmed attacks, obviously, so we're going to want to get the Silky Veil shirt. We don't need the Ring of Bardic Resourcefulness. We don't need the Keen Short Spear. Naturalist armor would be nice, but not necessary. It gives an insight bonus to AC versus plants and vermins. Honestly, it's not that great. The Keen Short Spear, though. I don't think we're going to be using it, so never mind. Okay. So what we're going to do is, instead of what I had planned on doing, which is sacrificing everybody for loot, I'm going to go on one separation here and just go from there. And hope that's enough. Okay, we got another swarm coming in. Okay. Well, we got one swarm anyways. Appears the Vevasectors are going to take out Panther, or try to no avail though. Okay, how is, okay, Panther is there. Okay, we'll move over here. Okay. Confusion, okay. Okay, so the Vevasectors have the annoying trait to confuse foe, or allies, so that's not fun. Okay, we can learn this, so we'll copy that recipe. Okay, we're going to heal up real quick. Alright, let's save. Because the swarm's not going to be that bad, not as we go along. But yeah, it seems as though I did a quick read. The best course of action is just to focus on getting as much benefits from the swarm as possible. Okay, we're gonna get Panther to move in to be a ample distraction. Okay, Gibber, not fun. Okay, we're gonna go for the rage there. Okay, they're rushing in, apparently. Okay, Light of the Angels. Okay, that's not fun. We're probably gonna lose Panther. Yep, as expected. Not fun, but then again, that's the gibbering. Yeah, no, the gibbering's probably gonna be our loss at this rate. Need to get Okay, healing's fine, okay, we're going to need to get some... Honestly, the biggest thing is getting through them without worrying about damage. Gonna have to move over here, I suppose. Okay, Panther, take the lead. We want Panther to take the gibber. There we go, and Panther will take the brunt. Okay, come on. Okay, with that, we can have Beastman take the brunt. Oh. We'll back off with Triclops here. There we go. We'll let our priest take it. Right. Apparently, great. We need a reload again, because obviously that's not going to work. Not a fan of swarms, as you can probably guess. Not a fan of swarms. Great. Okay, Okay, Evelyn, yes. You do have some buffers that we can use. I guess we'll go beef up Panther here. And Beastman. There we Okay,
Keep your wits about you.
yeah, no, they deal auto damage if I'm not mistaken. The Vevasector swarms. So no matter what I do, it's going to be troublesome. Well, there's no really choice about it. I've got to deal the damage to him, so I guess we'll just have to luck out and see what goes well. We'll go for the charge. We shall go for a charge here, I suppose. Okay, we have fatigue, so that's not going to work. We're going to go for the attack there. Okay. We'll get a rage here. There we go. That's going to deal a lot of damage, I suspect. Beastman, back up. Okay, that's enough. Alright, that works for me. Alright. Panther, we're going to give some quick healing to. Bryson ascending. Alright, we'll wait until combat's over. There we go.
Wherever my legs carry me.
Alright. Now we get some potions here. There we go. What's here? Okay. The man died, clutching a small chest to his body. He protected his body from the he protected his belongings from the Vevasectors to the very end. Alright, the Silky Veil. Okay.
Forwards? No, backwards.
Alright, so we've got the loot there. We're going to move up this direction now, which is the next area that we got to worry about. Okay, let's reorganize. We'll do a save here. And this is the only loot we're going to need, but we will still double back eventually when we get to the point where we need to attack. Obviously, we're going to target the Vevasector swarms because they are going to be our most dangerous foe to deal with. Alright, Panther is going to need to back up a bit, because otherwise he's just going to die. Okay, let's see. Merman's having some trouble, so we'll just get him on healing duty now. Okay. Alright, Beastman, we're going to be responsible for dealing with you, so get a rage in. Merman, back up. Get some hits there. Triclops, you're going to take the brunt there. There we go. Royal Guard's next. Not too worried about anybody else. There we go. Alright, he's targeting Merman. We're going to go Bramble Armor here. Give some defenses. There we go. 99 sneak. That's impressive. Okay, before things go awry, we're going to do some mass healing. Okay, once again, back into items. Alright, use until fully healed. Use until fully healed. Till fully healed. And once again for Panther, there we go. We used a lot of our scrolls, but that's fine. The sooner we get to the area, the better, so... all the better that we rush. In fact, now that I think about it, yeah, the Silky Veil is actually pretty good for somebody. Let's see. It gives a dodge bonus to AC, and it gives an enchantment bonus to unarmed attacks. Okay. Unfortunately, it's only good for unarmed attacks. Otherwise, I would have used it elsewhere. Lore Nature. Let's do a save here and check that out.
I did it!
Demonic Bug Slot. Poisoned not only to everything alive, but also the land itself. Alright, there is this here. The bottom of the canyon is split a narrow crevice, about one stride across at the widest. It's easy enough to jump over, or in places even step across. The obstacle doesn't seem a problem, or even particularly notable. but as you draw closer, you hear a terrible droning sound coming from the crevice. It seems to be howling, as if alive. You stare into the darkness of the void, trying to make out where the strange sound is coming from. Not all at once, but your eyes prick out the contours of a body in darkness. Someone small, perhaps a gnome, a halfling, or a child rolled up in a ball at the bottom of the chasm, under a stone ledge. He's crouched down, his head to his knees, and he's hugging his legs tightly. It appears to be one of the caverniers caught by the swarm. He's crying aloud, one continuous tone, and it strengthens as it echoes through the crevice, building into something truly haunting. Let's get him out. Not without effort, you manage to clamber down to the bottom of the crevice, tie a halfling with a rope, and pull him up. He doesn't resist, but he is little help either, dangling helplessly like a puppet. The Vevasectors inhabiting his eye socket seem to have eaten their fill, and you easily pull them out and crush them. Their victim sits on the ground and continues to cry, and the sound begins attracting unwanted attention. You hear the humming of disturbed Vevasectors above. A mass of them separates from the main swarm and flies towards you. That's annoying. Panther will deal with this swarm while Beastman gets the attention of this one. Get the frenzy going. Okay. Now we deal with the other. Failed to get the hit off, that's fine. There we go. Nice. The halfling you pulled from the crevice didn't move at all as you fought the onslaught of Vevasectors. He is lying on the floor, crying. I'll heal you and come back for you later. Magic can heal the Caverniere's wounds, but not in his mind. For now, there's nothing more you can do for him. He seems scarcely aware of your help, and his crying and shrieking continues. A moment later, you hear another scream from overhead. Leaning precariously over the ledge of the crevice above, one of your men falls to the bottom and dies upon the rocks. The other soldiers, now serving as beat, are up there desperately fighting for their lives, and yours. Alright, we leave the lost traveler to his own devices. And yeah, before we move on any further, we're going to get some healing in. This is going to be our last bit of healing that we're going to be using. Well, until we actually go forward. We're going to use one file here. That's not going to heal him, so we'll ignore that. We'll do a save. Alright, let's get ready. This is going to be the biggest bit here.
Wherever my legs carry me.
Okay, that's the Vevasector Queen. And because it's flying, we don't have any chance of actually hitting it with normal means. So we got to keep that in mind as we're fighting. We've already used the arcane weapon enchantment, so it's kind of pointless to use that now, but we will use that. Panther's there, Merman's here. Actually, you know what? Before we do, alright, we're going to need to use Protection from Evil Communal here. We're going to use Protection from Shield of Faith, rather. We're going to use Shield of Faith here as well. I guess Protection from Evil does it, but we're just using a Shield of Faith just in case. Alright. Now the Vevasector Queen comes in, and we deal massive amounts of damage. Although the insanity is not gone. Okay, there we go. Nice. Unleashing her last shriek, the Swarm Queen slumps to the ground. Immediately, as if by magic, the distant sounds of battle begins to subside. Several small beasts sit on the mother's body, sinking their mandibles into it. The canyon drowns out the waves of scent, a sweet sulfuric with a hint of bite, like the crackle in the air before a storm. Looking at the slain monster for a brief moment, you feel an inexplicable sensation of... not sympathy, no. The Vevasector Queen is disgusting, but a strange kinship. What was it like to be part of the swarm? Hostile to all life, hating everyone and hated by everyone. You take a deep breath and the sensation passes. Anivia approaches the Swarm Queen queen's body. Her face clearly expresses a desire to kick the dead beast, but she refrains. Just a brainless bug, and so many of our people died because of her. Just yesterday I was sitting by the fire with some of the people the swarm devoured. Suddenly, Anevia stops. Her nostrils flare and her eyes scan the floor and the walls of the canyon. She squats, poking at some lumps of slimy substance. Lifts up some to be looks more closely, smells them and cringes. You smell it too, right? A suspiciously familiar stink. Aha! Anevia rubs the ball of greenish slime in her hand. I'd bet for my life that your gear has this nasty stench when we were entering the canyon. I saw the queen bug spraying it around to summon her spawn for her. Let's see if we can find a source of that smell among my equipment. You and Anevia search through your things and quickly find the source of the smell. A thin handkerchief. Looks like it's been soaked in something like the swarm queen slime. Or queen swarm. Swarm queen slime. I don't use fire, I use cold, Barlow. I'll be damned. When the queen was spraying this sweet-smelling goop around, the swarm flew to it like flies to jam. The chewed-up bodies of the caravaneers smelled like this too. I checked. Commander, I think some rat planted that handkerchief on you, to ensure that the Vevasectors would find you. Looks like I have enemies in Mendev, and someone decided to get rid of me. True, nobody likes upstarts. If you knew what Irbeth's allies hissed behind her back when she was appointed head of the Eagle Watch. Anyways, we need to keep our eyes open. That handkerchief could have been planted here by magic, but take it from a professional paranoiac. I think we got a rat in our camp. In Canopus, we squashed the cultists time and time again, but they're like maggots in a dead hog. Some could have infiltrated our forces too. We have to keep our eyes open and our guard up. It's time we get back to our people. I say we destroy the queen's body. I heard the little bugs who eat the flesh of their mother can reborn as swarm queens themselves. That's kind of the last thing we need, right? Burn the body, but gather as much of the queen slime as you can. Keep it a secret from the troops. In Dresden, we'll send a suicide unit. Wait until the demons gather their forces, then bring in the Vevasectors. We'll return this gift to those who would destroy us with it. You want to make a weapon out of demon bug. Seriously. You better think about this. We have no way to control the swarm. What does that mean? It means the soldiers we send into battle with a barrel of this muck will be the first to be eaten. That's not even a suicide mission. It's a dirty trick like only cultists do. But we're crusaders. I know an order is an order. I'll go gather up the stuff. I don't mind. But think about it. Is this the way you want to fight? Will you still be able to look at your people in the eye? Yeah. I will. Anevia, Commander, what a relief you're alive. I saw the swarm begin to thin and ran to you immediately. She pauses to catch her breath. Sorry, Barlow, I can't allow you to say that. I knew I could rely on you. What happened to us there can't be described in words, but you were the one who carried the day, Skeletor. There were many dead and wounded. To be honest, I feared the whole army was about to scatter. We've been in the world wound for such a short time, and already we've run into so much trouble. But what matters is that it's all over. We've survived the trial and received our reward, albeit not without sacrifice, but in the end, what is life without risk? Oh dear. What are we going to do now? Since you're here, please take a look around. I found some painted runes and the traces of something that seemed like a ritual. We need to figure out what this is. Ha! Easily done. Nura leads over the magic symbols painted on the stone. I'm no mage, unfortunately, but I'm in the habit of thoroughly documenting all descriptions of rituals and symbols from magic books, especially demonic ones. Someone very recently opened a portal to the abyss here and summoned someone. It's not difficult to figure out who they summoned. She's lying dead right there. I can guess who carried out the ritual. Handwriting is unique, even when it comes to runes. I examined the Grey Garrison after your success, documenting everything I found for Queen Galthry, and I'm sure that the hand that redrew the rune circles is the same in both instances. It's the work of the same spellcaster. Clever. To set a trap and exhaust us instead of fighting us opening. We shouldn't be afraid of demons. We've lived through this little trap now, didn't we? We'll overcome the next one too. We just need to keep forging ahead. Well, since we've finished off the swarm and we know someone's giving us trouble, I suggest we go out of here. I'm done with bugs. While we would like to deal with... While we'd like to get out of here, we're actually going to do something completely different. We're going to gather up what we can here. We'll ignore here. And we're going to go down, actually. We're going to go down. Now, this is the point of the game where we're going to get that special thing I've been talking about all this time. I will explain it when we get to it, but there's actually a few things we can do down here. And it's wise for us to clear this place out, to a degree anyways. So it's important that we do this for our own benefits. Alright, we get some heals there. Beastman is currently in wolf form, so we'll just give him a potion for now. Everybody else is perfectly fine though, so we will just continue on, I suppose. We will save because I'm quite satisfied with the results, and we don't necessarily need the gold anyways, so it's fine. Okay, we've got a extra Vevasector swarm here, but we won't be seeing much of those down here, ultimately. Beastman, back off. There we go. That's one swarm dealt with. Got some more loot here. Got some loot here. Let's see. A boulder covering a secret tunnel. This tunnel is going to lead to something very particular, but we're going to ignore it for now, in favor of exploring the... Well, I guess, you know what? No. Let's explore this area, because it's actually very important.
Burn! Slice!
Okay, we're actually going to back up so we can organize our group just properly, because goodness knows we're going to need to. We'll do a save here just to be safe. That way we don't have to run through most problems. Okay, we're going to have Panther run through. Alright, Panther is going to take the hits. There we go. And done. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Whites. Whites are pretty easy to deal with. Ah, perception check. Okay. It appears that we got a trap here. I do believe Triclops is the best person to handle these sorts of traps, so we're just going to move him over and disable it.
I am finished.
Perfect. Good job, buddy. And off we go to the next area. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, more whites. Okay, Panther, we want you to go here, so that way you're a good distraction. Perfect. Nice. Skeletor is a bit tired, but that's fine. Perfectly fine for me anyways. We'll grab this, because we can. Let's organize up. And I do believe I need a save here just to be safe, but there's going to be some significant changes around here. Okay, if we deal with the white here. Yep, there we go. That shouldn't be too much of trouble. Nice. We basically want to make Panther the primary target, as I've been saying, so... Okay, we save here because that's carrion whites, I suppose.
May I see your
Get a distraction going. Panther's gonna be moving up here, so distraction's more appealing. There we go. The others are going to try and attack Panther, but to no avail. Or at least no specific avail, anyways. Okay, Karen White's going. There we go. Nice. And that's that. Cool. Okay. This is a very important area, I do believe. So we're going to actually save. We're going to reorganize our group here. And we're going to keep Panther here. Because it's actually very important that we do this. I do believe it's somewhere here. No, it's actually not. It's a bit further up. But we're getting really close to what we're looking for, basically. Okay, we'll save here. It appears we got a Belt of Dexterity, so we should give that to somebody, actually. Let's see, Belt of Incredible Dexterity, no. You know, we could give this... no, actually, we need a monk that can wield it, actually. My mistake. We don't actually have a monk, so this is actually pretty damn useless. Okay, Belt of Incredible Dexterity. Let's see. Who's going to be the best using this? I think Panther, honestly, isn't it? Panther doesn't have a belt slot, and it would boost his AC by 1, so yeah. Panther is going to get a boost to AC by 1 for the extra dexterity. Alright, we take out the white. We're going to have Panther move up a bit. Make him more appealing of the target. There we go. The rest will go through, naturally. Okay, Beastman, we want you to back off. There we go. Harkle. Oh, Panther's taken a severe beating here. We're activating the Rampage here, just to deal damage. Okay, come on. Okay, Merman's going to take a big brunt here, but we're going to try our best to handle it. We'll do Bramble Armor here. Okay, Beastman is suffering quite a lot. We don't want to do that. We're going to go with Mobility here. Okay. Hopefully that's enough. Yep, there we go. Okay, so nobody died, but we did suffer some negative levels. Oh dear, okay. Yeah, let's grab this real quick.
So it comes to this.
Okay, we need to grab this before things go awry any further. Okay, Panther, you're doing fine. Merman, you're fine. There we go. As soon as your fingers touch the wand, a surge of energy courses through your body. A howling choir of restless souls deafens your very thoughts. Green lights pour from your eyes. It can rend your soul from body, if you so much as will it. The wand vibrates in your hand like it's alive, but no, it's certainly not. As you realize with amazing clarity, but there's definitely something inside, and it's studying you closely. Set free the horrifying thing inside the wand. Your senses grow exceedingly sharp. You see not only the miserable corpses that litter the cave, but many others that found their end among the dark stones. All of them stare up at you with horror. A scream leaves your lips, and they cannot but obey. By force of will, you end the existence of these pathetic and powerless creatures, and return them to oblivion. The mere sound of your voice is enough to summon all semblance of soul from the helpless puppets. They explode, bursting into tiny sparks of spiritual energy. The green light fades as quickly as it arose. The choir of the dead quiet their howls. The power slips away, even as every part of your body protests against it. You vividly realize how fragile and fickle mortal flesh is. And that is the founding aspect for the Lichdom Path. You need the Wand of Zarkus if you wish to progress further. This is how you get it, basically. Or at least this is how the best way to get it, anyways. Okay, we take that, we take this. Well, at the very least, there's a ton of loot that we can stash, so that's good. I should probably read this, this. Okay, there appears to be a secret stash here. Other stuff. Before we go any further, we're going to do some quick healing. It seems as though everybody made it out relatively okay. Panther is the one that suffered the most likely. Beastman and Trapjaw are not looking too well with their negative levels, but that's fine. Alright, we're going to go to consumables here. We'll use until fully healed. There we go. Beastman is looking the worst for wear, so we're just going to use some potions here. Yeah, we're going to have to buy some scrolls next chance we get. Probably cure moderates at this rate, given how fast we're consuming our prior scrolls, so... At least we got the healing, that's a good thing. Not a fan that we're having to use so much, but considering it's 25 gold per scroll, it's not a bad thing. Okay, there's some more loot around here that we can snag while we're at it. Okay, charcoal and remains of greasy looking winged. Okay, a massive claw, ejected by decided color is claw of a silver dragon. Cool. What about here? There is loot taken from this, from the Tower of Estrad. So yeah, this is where they ended up hiding. Which is interesting. I wasn't expecting, well, I knew they were hiding in, I knew they were hiding here, but it's surprising for them to come here, of all places. Let's just say that. Well, whatever the case, we did manage to get what we came here for. And we can leave. But there is one other thing here that we need to do. Well, we can do, I should say. So we need to go this direction now. And because of the whole situation, we got a few nice new items. Got a +2 Cold Iron Rapier that deals a d6 against enemies who are under mind-affecting effects. We got the Hunter's Assurance, which allows us to attack and apply a stacking -1 to AC until the end of combat, so long as it's a crit. And we've got the Verminbane Elven Curved Blade +2. It's a very specific weapon, but we're going to give it to Triclops because that's just going to boost him up significantly. Let's see, we've got Cloak Resistance, we don't need... Okay. I think it just comes down to healing everybody at this point. Use until fully healed. Yeah, there we go. That'll have to do. We can't really use much else here, so we're just going to abstain for now. Got some nice new stuff here and there, so that's cool. But otherwise, yeah, let's keep going. Got bigger stuff to fry. Or bigger stuff to do, I should say. Alright. Okay, we got another Vevasector swarm. Thankfully, because of Triclops' weapon, we can now deal with swarms with much more efficiency. Of course, though, there is the downsides. So we want Panther to go here to go for a distraction. Triclops is going to back up here. There we go. That's the most we can probably do here. Okay. Alright, there goes Panther. Okay, come on. Don't die, Panther. Okay, Panther's at -11. Alright, Panther's safe. At negatives, but that's fine. Yeah, unfortunately swarms are just nasty. We can't really do much about it. I would love to do something about them, but there's not much you can do. Most you can do is just heal and hope it's enough. And now we are on to our cure moderates here, so we gotta be aware of that, which sucks. But we don't have much of a choice but to be on cure moderates now. Alright, let's just hope we don't have to deal with any more Vevasector swarms, because the more we deal with, the more worse it's going to be. Okay, we got ourselves a new item. A +2 longest sword, it seems. Cool. None of us actually use a long sword. We use tridents, at least, so there's that. Okay, we're going to save before we go any further. And I do believe we just have to clear out the caves. That's all it comes down to, really. Worst case, we're going to use a save here. Or rather, we're going to use a rest here. Okay. We won't be able to approach any further here, so Triclops, we're going to try and get you to sneak past. Okay, just barely managed it. Oh, but we are dealing with, yeah, we're dealing with Draconi. So we won't be able to get to there, so sneak back. We're going to shoot back over to this direction here. And we're going to instead take this direction, or try to anyways. This is probably going to be waylaid with more traps though, but it's fine.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Okay. Okay, a Vevasector Royal Guard. I guess we'll save here just to be safe. Grease is not going to help because they look like flying enemies. So yeah. Oh.
Let the attack commence.
Alright, we use Beastman here. Alright, get into the rage. Oh god, okay. Yeah, this isn't good. Okay, what do we got that can help here? Do we have fireballs? I don't think we do. Great. I guess we do have Alchemist Fire, that's the next best thing, but I don't think that's going to help us here. Well, let's see, what do we got? We could do with a haste, I guess. That would be the best course of action, next to anything else. Let's actually load. I might be able to find... Actually. Hold on. Mythic... Yeah, no, we have the Mythic Pack. Do we have the ability to channel specific targets? No, we got Skeletor's... Skeletor has his specific thing. How about Merman, actually? Hold on. That actually determines a lot. Character, class... Okay, outflank, no selective channeling, which sucks. Okay, so we don't have the selective channel, which makes this much harder. But we might be able to make this work if we do it right. Okay, if we load up and we do this just right, then we might be able to deal a significant amount of damage. But we will need our cleric to go first specifically then. Okay. Okay, I guess we heal Beastman real quick. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work, actually. Let's just use haste, because that's the best way we can get this working, I suppose. We are going to get Panther up. I do believe he already had... No, he's lost his blur, so that's fine. We will use this chance to get blur on then. I guess displacement is also an option. No, we're going to use blur, specifically. Alright. We will quickly deal with our foes here. The sooner the better, basically. Okay, something's going on. One sec. Okay, there we go. Okay, Beastman, we want to back up. Okay, Beastman, enrage. Skeletor, we want you to get ready. Okay, we're going to, let's see. Damage living.
I shall
Okay.
survive this ordeal.
Okay, we need to move up here. Okay, there we go.
Retreat is always an option. This is...
Yeah, no, that isn't doing it. Okay, let's load. Yeah, if we had a fireball, this would make this a lot easier, but we don't. I might have to go the other route with the Descari looking thing. Mainly because it's not going to affect us too heavily. Yeah, we'll go this route first, and then we'll hope that we get a level up. In which case we can take advantage of it. So move up quickly, get over to here. Thankfully, I do believe we can just skirt through this little area, so it's not that big a deal. We just gotta be careful.
I need to concentrate.
Okay, we just have to do it one at a time, basically.
I'm up for an adventure.
Okay, Panther, Beastman. Alright, Trapjaw, next. There we go. Triclops. Alright, next is Skeletor here. Slip through. And finally, Evelyn will slip through here. Okay.
No secrets can escape my prying gaze.
Alright, let's do a save here. It appears that there's a trap already here, so we can disable this real quick.
I am finished.
But we are going to have to organize, just real quick. Oh, there appears to be yet another trap, so we should probably deal with that. Okay, we're going to organize up then. Just carefully. Get disable here.
This is done. Forwards! No, backwards. Backwards.
Alright. Save. And hope that's enough.
I
Okay.
crave for adventure.
Alright, Evelyn. Deal with the Discarians. We're going to go with a grease here. Real quick. Okay, the drone is not fun, but that's fine. The grease should work in our favor, but I guess we'll see. I'm gonna roost their abilities by using the ability here. Okay, there goes our wolf. That's not fun. Okay, we're gonna have to load because our minion got killed. That's fine, though. We'll be fine. I hope. Alright, let's quickly use some abilities then. Let's use haste here. We are then going to use good hope. That'll give us, or give everybody, a effect of heroism, basically. Which is not going to work, it seems. That's fine, though. Let's give Panther the use of Cat's Grace. This will give his AC a boost. We're then going to use Blur, just so we have it.
Split you in half.
Alright.
Shake a leg.
Skeletor, get into position.
Combat abilities.
We are going to be using Grease here to make our lives easier. There we go. Okay, we'll make their lives harder by getting Skeletor to move up just a smidgen. That way we can use the Light of Angels here to reduce their ability to attack, or get hits on us. Evelyn's next, naturally.
Burn! Slice! Behead!
We can't put them to sleep, I don't think. Can we? Oh, we can, actually. Hold on. Let's try it. Okay, we managed to put that one to sleep. That's nice. It's gonna try and wake up. Naturally gonna have some trouble. Okay, there we go. Nice. Alright, Skeletor. Get rid of the grease, and we're good to go. Nice. Okay, we'll disable this trickery attempt. Or we'll disable the trap here. Okay, Panther suffers some damage, that's fine.
This way.
Alright. Yeah. Damage, damage, damage. That's what we got to expect. Okay, we get some healing there. Panther is next. We'll use 1. There we go. Okay, I guess we move up to here, I suppose.
Wherever my legs carry
Yeah,
me.
it leads us to a Vevasector swarm, which we back up from immediately. We'll do a save first here. Okay. Alright, let's deal with the swarm. Yeah, the swarm needs to go first, because obviously the most dangerous, arguably. Okay.
I don't like you.
Alright, Skeletor, get the grease in. Do this. There we go. Alright, cool. Panther's dead. Great. Okay, so we're gonna have to load anyways. Pain. And it's not like we can rest to get... Well, I guess we can rest to get rid of the negative levels, but we'd have to wait 24 hours specifically. Yeah. Waiting 24 hours sucks. We don't want to do that if we can avoid it. Okay. I guess the best thing we can do is just charge in. We'll get Beastman activating his rage. Skeletor, we need you in front here. There we go. We will activate our grease. Alright, the reflex is successful. It sucks that the Vevasectors are really ruining Panther again. Not a fan of the death. Not a fan of the death. I might have to move Panther after he deals with the first swarm. That way somebody else can tank it. Because otherwise he's just going to crumple at this rate.
Let's shake a leg.
Okay.
Blood.
We'll start with the Vevasector here. Okay, alright. Panther will keep ready on standby. Grease up. Alright, Panther is
Behead.
suffering. We're going to... Yeah, Triclops is currently the one suffering the most.
We won't falter.
Okay, Panther goes down. Great. Ah, God. And the worst part is we can't use Entangle here, because it's just gonna bugger us up even more. Which sucks.
Never stop learning.
Okay, Okay, what else can I do here? I can summon some minions, I suppose. Get a distraction going. Caster is currently polymorphed, so that sucks, but we don't have much of a choice now, do we? I guess I could change into another elemental. Yeah, let's change into an earth elemental, why not? Or do we change to an earth? We could do a fire elemental. Yeah, let's do a fire elemental instead. Cool. That way we get a burn ability.
Knowledge is
Okay.
the key to victory.
Trapjaw's not gonna work here. Well, Trapjaw's fine.
Let's shake a leg.
Okay, we're gonna try and go with Elemental Rays. We're gonna start trying to use our big boy spells. So we'll use the Scorching Ray this time. We'll keep our Cold Arcana going. But
Brave for adventure.
before we do anything, we're going to activate Sense Vitals. That's going to deal more damage. There we go. This should help us significantly. Okay, that's one. Okay, Skeletor, come on. Alright, before we actually... Yeah, we should probably get Panther backed up. Oh, there he goes. Now the Draconi is next. Okay, Beastman is suffering, but that's fine. Merman is being the target, so that's good. Okay. Nearly. Okay, come on, Merman. Almost there. Okay. Merman suffering, but that's fine. There we go. Good. Whew. Okay, I can tolerate that. We suffer some severe damage, but that's fine. We will swap to an Earth Elemental. Are you serious? Trapjaw. Trapjaw, come on. Stop that. My boy.
I don't need anyone's sympathy.
Okay, just get an extra attack off, I guess. Why not? Whatever. Alright, I guess we're healing even more than we expected. Okay, we got to 3 here. Gonna have to use some potions for the Earth Elemental. Okay, Trapjaw. Heal some. Alright, Panther, you're gonna need some significant... Okay, we've lost all of our cure moderates from the scroll aspect of things. Alright, we're basically running on fumes here, so we should probably get ready to buff as much as possible at a soon point. We've managed to beat them back though, so that's the good important part, I suppose. And we got ourselves a Voice of Hollow, a mace. This +2 mithril heavy mace confirms a critical hit with it. A loud sound is produced. All enemies except the target have to make a will save or be affected by the Voice of Hollow. The Voice of Hollow makes everybody take... Okay, so... Every turn the target is randomly affected by one of the following. 50 chance they behave normally but suffer 2d6 sonic. Or they attack the nearest creature. Interesting. Okay, that's a nice ability, but not necessarily the best ability for us. Although, I may actually give it to Merman temporarily. Strictly because it's a +2 weapon. So it's much better than the Cold Iron Trident by 1 point. In addition, it's got a nasty effect, obviously. So that's another thing. The look of these plants, rapacious and sickly at the same time, suggest their unnatural origin. Okay, there's a body here, which appears to have some nice items. Nothing too spectacular, just some stuff here and there. Okay. Okay, we're going to do a save here. We're going to try and do this again, I suspect. Alright, 1 sec. The screen's being buggy. There we go. It's back to normal. Okay, let's go and attack the Royal Guard here. Okay, that's not fun. I guess we're loading again. Really sucks we can't do anything. Then again, we're not specialized to deal with swarms and groups like this, so... Okay, I guess we're into forced combat now at this point. Which makes this even worse. Okay, we're gonna have to do some creative fighting here. Okay, just that, I guess. Alright, that's not fun. Okay, naps, yeah.
This way.
Okay, yeah, no, we're not fighting that just yet, I don't think. We're gonna try the other path for now, and go from there. We want to whittle down the swarms as much as possible if we can, but I honestly don't expect we're gonna get too far. Yeah, as expected, yeah, we're not going to get much out of this area. We are going to have to deal with this thing sooner rather than later. Okay, what can we do here? We've got Scrolls of Good Hope, we've got Haste, Displacement. Displacement seems like the only feasible way we're going to be doing this anytime soon. It really sucks that we only got level 3 on Panther currently, and we don't have normal restoration to take benefit from. But that's just how the cards are playing currently, so we gotta take advantage of that. Okay, the best thing I can think of is that I use Scroll of Stone Skin and give that to Panther. That way he resists the damage output. We could then use Scroll of Good Hope on everybody. That way we get a +2 to attacks. Yeah, everybody gets Good Hope, so there we go. Everybody's buffed up to a degree, excluding, of course, Evelyn, apparently. And Skeletor, I guess. We are going to want some displacement on Panther here. We'll use displacement because it's going to last 3 seconds. We're also going to use blur because that's going to last for a few minutes. That way, if we lose the displacement, then we'll get blur. We're going to use haste here to increase our speed. We've already got the potion of blur going. We are not going to increase the dexterity of Panther, but we will be increasing his strength, I believe. Yeah, we'll increase his strength by 4. That way, he's actually got more benefit to attacking. What else can we do? We can use not mirror image, unfortunately. I guess we can go protection from evil here. We'll focus on trap jaw being the focus. Yeah, we'll try to use it. We can't though, unfortunately. That's fine. Burning Arc is the closest thing we got to a spell that's going to help us here. We can use shield, I suppose, but that's not going to help against a swarm of Vevasectors. Yeah, we need to actually get like a cone spell or fireball spell, something akin to that. I do believe Skeletor has some stuff for that in that regard. So we're going to be starting to use Burning Hand, or cold version of Burning Hands, I suppose. That's the next best thing we can come up with. All right.
Forwards.
Let's rush.
Backwards.
Alright. Panther is going to be the natural target here. Okay. We want to enrage. Skeletor, we want you to go with... Alright. Cold hands. There we go. Okay. We've got... Great, okay. Well, the haste is working in our favor. It's just the, Yeah, it's not working in our best favor, I do believe. Ah! Ow. Hit my foot on the, side of my chair. Pain.
March, march.
Okay.
All I do is march. Does anyone require my counsel?
Okay. Alright, first and foremost, we gotta get things ready. Let's see. Okay, first, let's deal with the Demon Plague. So we're gonna use to remove disease. There we go. Okay, the disease has been removed. Let's see. Can't remove anything here. Can't remove anything there. How about you, Panther? How you doing? Just negative levels, yep. I was wrong to go for the ghouls, or the whites to start, I guess. But that's fine. Okay, we're gonna use the... Well, we're gonna use everything to our disposal. Okay. Oh, come on. Oh, use magic device has failed. Okay, so yeah, no, we just gotta keep using use magic device then. There we go. That works. We just gotta basically spam it with Skeletor, basically. We'll use haste. We've already got the heroism, so we're fine on that. Let's see, inflict serious wounds, we're good on that. Alright, Panther, you're going to be responsible for this. There we go. I'm going to give you displacement, blur. We can't do anything beyond that, I don't think. Protection from evil communal. We're going to want to focus on that. Okay, we can't use the displacement apparently, or the that scroll. Stunning barrier would be nice, but I don't think we're going to be able to get it, so we're going to be ignoring that. Expeditious retreat, we're going to give that to Skeletor. I'm going to use that. Because we want Skeletor to distract the bugs temporarily. We're going to go for the Bless, if we can. Okay, we'll use the Bless. That'll give everybody a +1 to attack. We can use Divine Favor here, so we're going to use that to help us. Skeletor is a distraction currently, so he is more important causing a ruckus, so we will save here, and we'll just have to hope that's enough. Alright, everybody, charge in.
We will be victorious.
Alright, Skeletor, your duty is distraction. Okay. You know what? Damage living. Okay, yeah, no, nobody survives there. I really need that channel ability, or the channel feat. Ah, or I can't do that. That was my mistake on leveling up. I should have get the channel. Okay. I think it's in our best interest to focus the swarms then. Yeah, it's once the Royal Guard goes, then things go awry. Alright, everybody focus.
Slice. Behead.
Okay. Okay, distraction. Okay. Great. Okay, can we survive this? Probably not. Nope. Yep. Yeah, this is not fun. Alright, let's actually enlarge some things then. How about that? Maybe going bigger is actually the better option here. At the very least, with going bigger, then we have the advantage of, you know, reaching further, so... Okay, we're going to go enlarge person. Enlarge person is not going to work on Beastman, so we'll ignore that. We'll enlarge Trapjaw here. Yeah, there we go. We will go for Bless Weapon to hope that is... Well, we'll use Bless Weapon because they are technically demons. So that might actually help. We will enlarge, I suppose, with Merman as well. Shield of Faith is not going to help us. We will use Protection from Evil, I suppose. Although that's not going to do much for us. Okay. Yeah, this is the most we can feasibly do. Okay. I guess we go with snowballs for now. Okay, Trapjaw is not having the time.
I'll just have to resort to brute force. I move. So it comes to this.
Ah, you kidding. Man. This is the problem with not having any AoEs. But then again, it's not like I can do much about it, can I? Most I can hope is it's gonna work. Alright, let's get the enlarges back on. Okay, enlarge, enlarge. We could do reduce person on Evelyn and all that, so that is an option. Yeah, we got one reduced person, so we'll use that on Evelyn. That'll increase the accuracy of her abilities. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do much beyond here, so... Really just a trial and error thing at this point, isn't it? There we go. Hope that's enough. Oh, I guess we do have Cure Light Wounds, so that is nice, so... we only got so many charge... Yeah, there's only one charge, rip. Oh well. Okay. What else we got? We got Create Pits. The only thing that we have that has some semblance of area of effect is Burning Arc. That isn't going to help us in the long run, though. At the very least, we got a Wand of Haste, so losing the scrolls is not that bad. We are going to equip the Lesser and Power Wand, I guess. That's probably the only thing that's going to save us to some degree.
So little time.
Yeah, we got Sense Vitals. That's not going to do it for us. Okay. Let's just hope that's enough. Save.
We will be victorious.
Alright, let's stop worrying about the swarms, at least for a moment. Merman's going to take the lead here. Get some distraction going.
I'll just have to resort.
Okay, there we go. Alright. Beastman, back up. Activate your rage. Triclops, back up. Alright. Okay, Panther, you're down. That's fine. Trapjaw, back up. If we lose our compatriot Panther, that's fine. Okay, you guys back up. Obviously.
So it comes to this.
Alright, Beastman, back up. Who's this? This is Merman. Merman, back up. Okay, if we lose Panther, it's fine. We'll take the L there. Okay,
I don't like you.
Alright, Triclops, we want you to back off. There we go. Okay, there goes Panther, but that's fine. We will rest and get him back. That is perfectly fine by me. I'd rather one person die than anybody else. Or at least the companion there die than anybody else. We'll use this chance as a save. And I'm surprised we managed to pull that off with how we did things, but hey, it's better than nothing. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to worry about down here? There's this path which leads to absolute... Oh, no, wait. Ah, it leads to that. Okay. This might be a perfect time to get the rest in, but before we do, because we've already saved, we don't need to worry too much. But we're going to check to see what's down here. Okay, we've got a trap here. Okay, how do we disarm it? Oh, there's a trap somewhere here that leads over to this area. Okay, apparently leads over the other side here. So before we actually go down here, we are going to do a quick rest. That way we at least get our companion back.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
And we'll go from there. Okay. So organize and get ready. Okay, let us auto-assign. Fish on a stick is the staple here. And we're going to begin resting for the lowest amount of time. Alright. Our compatriot comes back up. We get the healing in. Corruption has increased. But we do get some significant healing because of it. And now... yeah, some of the time has passed. And we are left with a few directions to go towards, I suppose. I guess we can check to see if there's a path back, which I guess we have cleared. Okay, yeah, no, we're good. Alright.
Wherever my legs carry me.
Okay, we'll gather you. Yep, this is the only feasible way forward. Well, technically. We are going to start by healing. Because this is going to be very important for what our survival is going to look like. Okay. We're going to save. And we don't have to buff just yet, but there will come a time that we need to. Yep. 1 hour passed. We did manage to succeed the athletics. But as you probably saw... yeah. Okay.
You've made your choice.
Yeah, we don't want to attack it just yet. We want to buff. So we'll set up here. Okay. So yeah, this is a hunter-retriever. This is not a good enemy to be fighting, but it's an enemy that we have to face nonetheless. We're going to buff up as much as we possibly can. We need to be ready with literally everything at our disposal. We're going to go fire, electricity. We are going to prepare, I guess, acid at this point, but we're going to use enlarge person, obviously.
The road calls me.
Evelyn, you're going to be enlarging Beastman, I suppose.
The road calls me. I'll take the bait.
Yeah, because Trapjaw has reach, so we're not too worried about that.
But I should. I
Okay,
need that to
remove
survive.
fear is going to be
Then I argued,
necessary.
Then I agreed to do it. It's so hard to decide whether to have
Okay,
plans or not.
Trapjaw, you're fine. Beastman, we want you to use resist acid here. Okay.
I crave for adventure.
No one stands in my
Okay, we're going to start using the bark skin here. Okay. Alright, that's 2 bark skins. We got 3 and 4. Alright, Triclops, you're going to be using your stuff. We will give Blur to Panther, and we're going to use bark skin on Triclops here. Okay, Triclops, use Mirror Image. Evelyn, use bark mage armor on yourself.
Quick, quick, else we miss all the
Skeletor has already used the remove fear ability. We're going to start using mage armor here. Alright, mage armor on here. Merman gets... no, not Merman. We want to mage armor Beastman here. We will mage armor himself. Well, do we need to? I guess we do.
So many thoughts.
Alright, Evelyn, we want you to go delay poison communal here. We will give Beastman some boost in heroism. And we will boost up, not Panther, but we'll boost up Trapjaw here to boost up his accuracy. We got the Cold Ray. Skeletor is ready.
We shall move.
Alright, Triclops is ready, Beastman's ready. So Beastman, we're going to swap you to an Earth Elemental, I suppose. Yeah. Earth Elemental. Panther's good. Merman's good.
my counsel.
Okay. We're gonna go with... well, we don't need protection from evil just yet, so we'll save here. That's as much as we're going to be able to do, so let's hope that's enough.
No fear.
Alright. Gonna be quite the fight.
May I see your entrails,
Okay.
please?
Oh, great. Insta-death. Great, okay.
I'm wounded.
Let's just load that. Insta-death is not fun. Alright.
I'll just have to resort to brute force.
We will be victorious.
Alright. Hey, half nail. Okay, thankfully the Panther is fine. Yeah, Panther's taking the hits like a champ. Okay, Merman's taking hits now. Okay, he goes down. We activate our rampage here. Okay, he goes down and dies. That's not fun. Oh man, at least this fight is actually easier than what we fought prior, so that's good on our front, I suppose. Panther's perfectly fine. I guess I could take off the belt and just increase his AC with Cat's Grace. That also works. You know what? Let's do that. Use Cat Grace. We'll swap out the belt for somebody, or give it to somebody else. Evelyn, no. No. We'll give it... No, we got Triclops. He's already got a belt +2. I guess we'll give it to Skeletor, because that's going to help him increase his ray chances to hit, so... Yeah. We'll go with that in mind.
Burn.
We will be
Okay.
victorious.
Behead.
Okay, Panther. You're able to block the Fortitude save. Nice. Alright, Beastman, activate your Rage. Okay, Skeletor, you're doing well. We're going... I suppose. That'll maybe get the prone. Okay, that does not. But we can use this as a chance to trigger the Entangle as well. So that's an option. Alright, Panther's nearly dead. That's fine. Oh, Panther's dead. Okay, so that didn't work as intended. Great. Okay, Skeletor does not have his thing active actually, so we're gonna do that real quick. Sense Vitals. Now we engage. Okay. Okay, that's a 66 sneak attack, nice. And that's near death. There we go. Cool. And yeah. It seems there used to be one, but it seems to have perished, and as a result, we've managed to get ourselves an Amulet of Apothecary. It grants you a +4 morale bonus against poison, and it's treated as a +1... It's treated as an Amulet of Natural Armor. Of +1, mind you. Which is alright, it's alright. It's not the best out there, but hey. Resistance to poison? Pretty nice. We got the Retriever's Claw, which is a dagger. And it has a crit of ×3 instead of crit ×2. But otherwise it works as a +2 cold iron dagger. Which is okay. Not the best one out there. Okay, we will disarm this trap real quick.
I am finished.
And we will quickly rush out of here. Because thankfully, now that we've done this, we can now explore the rest of the cavern. And hopefully, if only hopefully, we can explore what's going on here. We'll do a save here. Keep going. Alright. Let's hope this is enough.
to practice my
Okay,
combat
Vevasector
abilities.
swarms are coming in, not fun. Oh, it popped out midway. Okay, great. Swarms. Swarms. Let's hope this isn't a common occurrence. Okay.
We will be victorious.
Alright. As expected, another swarm comes in. Okay, back up. Beastman, back up. Merman.
Have to resort to brute force.
Okay, we're gonna want to move Trapjaw back, like so.
I'll split you.
Okay, that's one. Okay, deal with you.
You'll survive. This whole this is unexpected.
Alright. Activate this. There we go. Okay, that's one more, and this just the last Vevasector swarm. Okay, back up. Ah, pain. Okay. As you can tell, I'm slowly starting to dwindle here at this rate. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We just have to deal with it, ultimately, in the end. It seems that once we reach this pinnacle point, it's basically going to harass us, so... Yeah, no, let's back up a little further. Just to be safe. We're going to move up to here. Panther, we want you to rush in, naturally. Okay, now that we've done this, we're going to have Panther run past. There we go, and slowly whittle down the enemy. Like so. Be a distraction, basically. Okay, Skeletor is taking the brunt, that's fine. Okay. Thanks to that, as a result... Oh, we've lost Panther again. You know what? Maybe this is for the best. Let's just have Panther perish. Can we fight the rest of this area, though? I'm not sure we can. Honestly, is it even worth it? Okay, the lag's coming in. Oh, whoops. Oh, I've accidentally closed stream by accident, just from this bug that's coming in. Great. Alright, okay, that's annoying. Is it working? It is not, apparently. Hold on. Give me a moment. I'm going to have to see what's going on here. Not fun, but whatever. Alright, 1 second. Okay, we managed to get to the last bit, but yeah, hold on. Okay, we need to get the stream key. There we go. Alright, I apologize for that, you guys on Twitch. Apparently the stream closed because at times my screen starts to bug up like crazy. I'm not sure why it does that, but I find it might be due to the fact that it's just the tilde key being pressed for so long, which I use to talk with my stream. So that's how I do things usually. So it's worth noting, at the very least. Alright. Can I fight this last bit? Because I do believe this is the last fight coming in. Yeah, it's Vrox.
Forwards!
I'm not sure I'm able to handle Vrox yet. Well, I guess we can try, can't we? I don't think we'll be able to handle it, though.
The road calls me.
Alright, let's start with, I guess, a pit spell? Yeah. We'll start with a pit spell.
We will be victorious.
Okay, we're going to target... Well, I guess we back up, actually. No, we back up because that's how they work. Yeah, we back up. Yeah, we want to back up as much as possible. Back up, back up, back up. Okay, we let them do that, you know, shenanigan business. Okay, yeah, they start doing that stunning screech shenanigans.
We shall move.
Now, if we do another pit here...
See blood.
Okay, we do deal with the Brock here. Okay, that's one of the three. Okay, that's one down. Okay, let's see how they fare. Because that determines a lot. Okay, that's two. That's three. Yeah, no. We're gonna die. Okay. I've decided I'm going to back off for this fight. We will come back to it, of course. But we are not going to be dealing with it right now. Because I'm not confident enough that we're going to be dealing with this and surviving. Sure, there is going to be some nice loot that we're going to be missing out on, but honestly, I don't think it's worth it, and I've got to wrap up anyway, so... Yeah, we're just going to quickly go outside, and I will wrap things up. So yeah, we've got this little bit of an area to deal with, but we'll deal with it later. That's just how it's going to be. We'll collect all, and depart. But hey, as a plus, we managed to get the first part of the Lichdom Path, which is the intended path that we need to take. But I digress. We've done quite a bit this stream, and I'm quite satisfied with the result. I had predicted this was going to go this way, but I wasn't predicting it to be this effective. But I digress. For those of you on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification if you want to see more of my stuff. I stream daily, so when you catch my streams, you catch me 3 to 7 MST time. If you want to catch my streams, the best way to do so is search me up at fmypawn at twitch.tv. Alternatively, you can check the About section on my YouTube channel, or you can check the link down below in the description of the video you're watching on YouTube. For those of you on Twitch, or those of you from YouTube come from Twitch, welcome. Your support is always appreciated. The more support you provide me, the more content I can give you guys. Once I hit 50 followers and 3 concurrent viewers, I should be able to hit affiliate status. Sorry, I'm losing track. Once I hit affiliate status, I should be able to provide you guys with some more content that you might like. This can mainly consist of more viewer interaction, it can deal with bits, doing stuff, that sort of thing. But I digress. Your support means the world to me, and so far we've been going really ham at it, and I really do appreciate it. My goal at least for this month, is to try and get to 50 if I can. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not going to be too mad, or anything really. The support you're already providing me is enough, so if you really want to support me, just get my name out there. That's the best way you can do so. But I digress. For those of you on Twitch who want to get to YouTube, the best way to do so is search me up in the YouTube search bar at fmypawn. Alternatively, if you scroll down from the Twitch stream, you should be able to see a YouTube photo. You click that, and it'll direct you to my YouTube channel. Or, if you're watching from VODs, you can check the VOD description, and there should be a link or two down in the description below, which you can copy and paste into your URL. But yeah, for those of you on YouTube, or rather, those of you on Twitch who want to get, God, what am I saying? If you want to watch my older videos, the best way to do so is on YouTube. It has everything since day one, including this series, including the Kingmaker series, etc. So if you want to watch something specific there, that's the best way to do so. If you want to watch my newest streams, the best way to do so is on Twitch. It has everything for about 6 days, because YouTube Twitch policies have changed a little bit from 14 days to 7 days. But I digress. It's unfortunate. I was just wrapping things up. I apologize. The stream's there. I'm just wrapping this up, but this particular bit I'm going to have to edit for Twitch because it bugged out on my end, so I'm going to have to copy a video over. Well, I guess I can't do that, not for Twitch, but I need to get affiliate status for that, unfortunately. But whatever. Greetings. I hope you enjoyed the stream, or if you want to, you can watch the VODs, but I digress. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I know I did. And I will see you guys next stream. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.